Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin. Guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than rev counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian. Guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. We would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville, No Surrender, Percy Fender, Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin. Guerrilla cricket.
Good morning, good evening, good dawn, good dusk, wherever you are in the world. It's Guerrilla Cricket, and it's Game 13 of the World T20. We are back in Nassau County in New York on another. I love this pitch. It's great for the bowlers and shit for the batting. It's quite, it's tricky. Short boundary on one side today, and it apparently rained overnight. It's a bit spotty cloud and it's probably a decent temperature. Canada won the toss? No, Ireland won the toss.
Ireland won the toss and will bowl.
I'll give you the playing 11s and I'll introduce my compadres for the day. Canada go in: Aaron Johnson, Navneet Dalawai, Pargat Singh, Nicholas Curtin, Shreyas Mova, Dilpreet Bajwa, Saad bin Zafar, Dylan Hay Liger, Kaleem Sana, Junaid Siddiqui, and Jeremy Gordon. Not Corden. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Ireland go same as the other day when they lost to India. They go Paul Sterling, Andy Balbirnie, Lorcan Tucker, Harry Tector, Curtis Campher, George Dockrell, Gareth Delaney, Mark Adair, Barry McCarthy, Josh Little. One change. Craig Young is in for the spinner Ben White, I think. I am joined from Melbourne, where it is past midnight. It's Russ. How you doing, mate?
Good, thanks, Bear. It's lovely to be here in the Box of Dreams.
Nice.
Are we going to see extra cat content today?
You're not really, but there is a slate if you look very carefully on the right. right-hand side of you can see a cat laying on the couch. So it's as good as we can.
Well, it's as good as we get. They might get active later. And on to our left, it's Jason, who was at me with a quiz night last night where a Gorilla team won it, and we got a little trophy.
Yeah.
No, booze
not my one.
No, it wasn't your team. It was my team. We won. I had Fred and a Fred and Fred and Andy, and they were quite bright. I got a couple of questions right, I have to say, and we ended up winning, which is always good. But they don't give booze out anymore, which is really the only reason we do the quiz.
They need to get either some sponsorship back in or some charity stuff back in, because they didn't charge any money either.
No, they didn't charge any money, and there wasn't that many people there, and it wasn't the usual suspects from the crickety people. I think now that it's not in the Oval, people can't be asked.
No, there's a couple of reasons why the journo type people weren't there. One is this.
Oh, that's true.
And also, for those people that weren't over in the West Indies or USA, the Cricket Writers Award was last night as well.
Ah, fair enough. Well, that's what
at the Oval, so.
Okay, they were just up the road then. So that's that. Today we got Canada versus Ireland. Now both have lost a game. However, the USA beat Pakistan last night whilst we were doing the quiz, which is a bit of a come up for the books, was it not, Russ?
I certainly don't think many people were predicting it before the tournament. I think maybe having seen USA play a couple of games and also looking at their recent record against Bangladesh and others, that maybe they're not a bad side. at least against a Pakistan who doesn't always bring it, in the opening rounds of a World Cup.
It certainly seems to be able to score runs. I mean, that guy who scored the 94 in the first game's got a good score yesterday. I mean, they should have really won it. I mean, they needed like 45 or 38 or something at one point, which in a T20 should be a fucking cakewalk. I mean, they won it. They still had, they had 6 wickets left at the end?
Yeah. They've got that shit struggle of not quite knowing how to finish games. But Aaron Jones hits an enormous ball. I think in the first game against Canada, he hit 103 metres, which, as I think Brian Barish put out on our commentary, is long enough to hit a home run in most baseball stadiums at the over centre field.
Well, no, is he? What is he?
Huge hit.
Is he from West Indies?
I think so.
I think he was born in the US. I think he then grew up somewhat in the West Indies.
Okay.
So
because I noticed, what was it? Curtin, he's still got a West Indian accent. Nicholas Curtin, he was having a chat. He got a 50 for Canada. Canada posted a decent score, considering this wicket has been tricky for everyone. Canada and America managed to post 190 each on it.
Well, no, that was in Dallas, though.
Right, okay.
A spring game and possibly a smaller ground. This one, it's a good toss for Ireland to win. I think you certainly, if you're not sure how many you're going to be chasing, you'd much rather be chasing the possibility of a small score than trying to set something on a pitch that you're not quite sure what a good score might look like.
I mean, it was green on Wednesday. It's even greener today, much like the Ireland shirts.
Yeah,
you probably can't see them against the pitch.
They had Dale Steyn and Sean Pollock yapping about the wicket beforehand. Dale didn't really need to know.
Do you see the announcement by the ICC apologising for the state of the wicket?
Yes, although it was a kind of non-apology, wasn't it? But it was an apology.
It was. No, we are getting our world-class experts on the matter. Well, maybe you should have done that.
In Pakistan, that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you should have done that in the 6 months prior to actually playing a game on it.
Well, I guess I don't know when it actually got laid, because the stadium was only completed not that long ago, was it? So
I think it got laid in Adelaide and got brought here by a boat.
Well, yes, but I mean, then laid and embedded. Presumably, once you embed it, you have to treat it in certain ways so that it plays proper cricket.
Anyway, cricket is about to break out from the talking.
Do we know who's opening?
That could be Craig Young. Don't particularly recognise him.
Well, it could be him. Heard of Canada's as openers.
It should be Welling.
Aaron Johnson. Got a jingle for him. Goes like this.
Aaron Johnson, he's scoring. He's not boring. Aaron Johnson, it's Mr. Aaron Johnson to you.
And the other guy is...
you know what?
His name is Nick Wall. Smiling smile says it all. He records the shocking fall of all those fools who cross him. Maybe his baleful eyes on you. Punishment for your sins come due. Wall.
And it's not going to be Craig Young. It's going to be this bowler.
Oh wow, that's gone off the seam. Short of a length through to the keeper. No run. It's going to be. Where is he? I put his jingle here. I know I do because
There are 2 of them. Yes.
Coming up, he's coming up, he's coming up, who's coming up, who's coming up, who's coming up. It's a dare. You got pulled up the island. Alright, and back, and you can roll. You back, and you're rolling out, yeah.
well, second ball's down leg side, and it is going to be the first of these for the day. No, it's exceptional. It's considering you have to pay for Sky. The betting company Bet365 have
P&P?
well, they've got a video feed, but it's literally only about 3 or 4 seconds behind the Sky feed on the telly, which is pretty impressive. But it also begs the question: you don't need Sky then; you just go have a betting site. All right, Annie. Hello. Annie's arrived. Annie's in today. She was at the quiz last night too. That's just defended back down the track, and there is no run.
This first couple of balls indicate that the main thing that might decide this game is just how many bad balls get bowled by their respective sides. Certainly Canada bowled a ton of them against the US, which hurt them in the end of that chase.
Yeah. Well, how they'll cope with them. Yeah, exactly. The pressure if it comes on. We see Josh Little in the field. Mark Adair is coming in, 4th ball. It's into the pads of Johnson. He just works it into the leg side. There's no run. Presumably the offside is the short side, which is why he's bowling predominantly into the pads. But I'm not entirely sure that's the case.
Yeah, it might just be shit bowling.
It could just be shit bowling, of course.
Interesting umpire for this match. I'm not sure I've heard of him before. So it must be one of the associate umpires, Sam Nogadshi, and the other one is Richard Kettleborough, who I have heard of because he's on the elite panel.
He's Australian, in fact, at least by the Cricket Info.
Well, that swung down the leg side. It should be a wide. No, it's been given a dot. Maybe it came off the pad.
I think it only just flicked it.
It went quite a long way, didn't it, in the air? Oh yeah, it definitely came off the pad. Which is, I can see Jason Holder's point. I mean, at that ball, had he managed to get his leg out of the way, it would have been a wide, but I think there has to be some sort of leeway on the leg side for wides. Doesn't have to be a lot, but it is quite crazy. That one's into the pads again, and it's flipped round the corner to the man on the 45. There's a shot at the stumps, but they make it through. That's a single. 6 off the first over. Ireland 6 for none. And Johnson 5 will won't retain the start. Dhaliwal is on 1.
Warren has joined us on YouTube. On Twitter. He says, "Morning all. I saw somewhere there's a game today. Yes, it is. It's the same place as it was on Wednesday." Muttley says, "Sloppy job food porn for Bessie Jez today. It needs some work." And this gives us a picture of some noodles and various associated bits with that.
That's good.
Bessie Jez says, "That's impressive, Muttley." I think the answer to that will be woof.
Of course.
Brian Barrow says, "Good day, cricket nerds. Some of America is still buzzing from yesterday. Most of it is just finding out that we play cricket for the first time."
Well, I was going to say, what's the wider American audience that knows fuck all about cricket? But presumably in their news, it was a big deal that they beat Pakistan, and that match over some right-wing nutters. It's like, yeah.
And they saluted it with a collective thumbs up. That's cool, and have gone back to their lives as normal.
Oh, okay. Josh Little is going to bowl from the other end, and his first ball is across Dhaliwal, who pokes at it, misses it, goes through to the keeper, and there is no run. We have a jingle for Josh Little. I've just got to find it.
Little Joshua, he always brings us joy. Little Joshua, he's a quick little boy.
Oh, that's Ed, surely. There's an appeal. Joshua Little is indicating something I thought was maybe glove.
Come on, Sterlo. Make a decision.
Sterlo is...
He's not going to do it. I didn't think he actually got an edge. I thought it was just a really good ball that bounced. I don't know what you thought, Russ.
Yeah, no, I think they just took off the pitch, surprised the batter, but no edge.
If anything, it was gloves. It was all up around it. Saga Parker, our man Saga, who's going to be on, actually, in...
12 overs, 13 overs.
He's going to be on over 8 to 13, I believe. So on after our first stint, in fact. He looks behind, which always tells you something. Here says, here's to a good game tonight. Thank you very much, $5 Australian. We very much appreciate that, Saga. I didn't see the replay. Was it close to the glass? No,
Yeah,
here we
it's
go.
hard to tell.
It's good. I don't know when they've gone away from it.
Played it very late.
Yeah. Well, that's a wide down the leg side. No doubt about that. Started down there, went further. I don't think it touched anything. I think that's wise not to review. Let's have a look. Oh no! Having said that, it touched the glove. Clear as day. It came off the glove. Should have reviewed it. Tough shit.
Go on and make a load. And
You've only got 20 overs. If you genuinely think it's out, just go for it, for fuck's sake. That's flashed out outside off stump. Missed by Dunawal through to the keeper, and there's no run. I presume Ireland and Canada have played each other reasonably often.
Presumably, yes, before they were afforded test status, I imagine they would have played quite a lot. But
Yeah,
Canada...
certainly
go on.
between Ireland coming out of 2007 World Cup and when Canada was at the same time going to the World Cups, yes, they were playing very regularly. Canada kind of dropped down into the second division, roughly around the same time Ireland stopped, moved into the test status. So
That's a nice shot. It's a poor ball from Josh Little. It's on the pads, down leg side, very full, and it's clipped nicely by Dullywell, and he will get himself 4 runs.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Half the man is on the 45.
Not very far away from the man on the 45,
No.
to be fair. But it did bounce just in front of him, so it wasn't really a chance. But
No.
you can't drift into the pads when you're playing a short fine leg like that, though. It's really
No.
just... I mean, Dullywell's a very fine striker of the ball for what we've seen.
Full toss, driven hard, but straight at mid-off, no run.
And for Canada, just keeping wickets in hand on this pitch might be a blessing for the first.
Well, I think if you can, I mean, it seems reasonably difficult all the way through, but obviously after 13, 14 overs, the ball does soften and does get a little less treacherous. It is possible to score late in the innings, but you've got to have wickets now, haven't you? Josh Little is coming in. Last ball of the over. Ooh, nearly trying to york him with an in-swinging yorker. Manages to get his bat down on it. So a little slow through, but they will make the single. Dannywell gets through. They're on 12 for none, and he'll retain the strike. Over to you, Jason.
Brian Bass says, I also saw a picture from our good friend Anna Forsyth, who's at the match, and there's a teeming crowd of about 30,000 people masquerading as empty seats. Message says, I suspect the USA victory over Pakistan yesterday is almost as much for awareness of cricket in India as the cricket episode of Bluey. And Jay Grover has joined us. He said, afternoon all.
Afternoon, Jay.
Warren asked the question, is Messi Jazz funneling his winnings from yesterday into the GPL?
Well, the GPL is open, my friends, as Markadero is going to bowl a second over, bowls it back of a length, which is defended into the offside. Aaron Johnson doesn't want anything to do with it. Dallowell's a bit itchy feet halfway down the track, but no run.
The main challenge for the USA with the coverage is that the cricket itself is on Willow, and it's a very niche, very good cricket coverage, but it's only for people who already know what they're looking for, so you're not going to get that bleed through to the rest of the population.
Willow's a subscription-only service, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Adair in. Oh, flashed that. Out. Gone. I've got a win on the bet. Nice. Mark Adair has picked up the first wicket. He's on the back foot trying to force it, is Dallowell, but he can't force it over the man at point. It's a simple catch, just reaching above his head. Was that Georgie Dockrell there? Or I don't know who it was who caught it.
I think so.
Anyway, Canada are 12 for 1. He was trying to lift it over, that man, but he didn't. It's number 50, whoever that is. Anyway, we have to say goodbye to Dallywell like this.
The crowd says
Georgie Dockrell.
Yeah, it was Dockrell.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Dockrell.
When I saw him walking away afterwards, I thought that looks like Georgie Dockrell. Just
We
the
could just look the numbers up on the scorebooks that they always put them on, so we always know whose numbers whose, right?
Yeah, right.
oh really, Paul Sterling, you need a drink after 2.2 overs.
Yeah, he's a big lad. So
Must be hot and sweaty and humid out there then.
New York's horrid in the summer for humidity, so it wouldn't surprise me if it's very sweaty.
I don't think it's that warm there at the moment. Next man
29.
in
I think
29. That's reasonably hot. We certainly have any decent weather here. We have a new man in. If I can find him. And I can't find him. Yes, I can. Pargat Singh. Got a jingle like this.
Bhagat Singh ran up the hill.
He's facing Mark Adair. First ball was left outside off stump. Through to the keeper, no run.
Now why did Bhagat Singh take this trip? Fitness training, innit?
They're not offering much at the fucking bookies, I'll tell you that, but I'm going to go under for the full of the second wicket. They're only offering me 26.5, 25.5. So 12 runs they're offering me for the 13 runs for the full of the second wicket.
They have priced in the wicket, the
wicket.
which I think is probably a mistake because this one looks about as the best of the ones we've seen so far.
Yeah, still about movement in the air, it's a little bit off the seam. That one angles in. It's played out.
Certainly some
wicket.
bounce.
Yeah, it's definitely some bounce. Which in theory the batsman should like. I mean, do you want dead wickets when you can't time the ball? Maybe it's the movement that's
Well, I mean, Dhaliwal didn't really get over the one that he got out to, and nor the one that he edged previous to that. So I wonder if he's not quite used to that level of pace and bounce coming off a wicket.
No, but you'd have thought, well, exactly that, but you'd have thought some of the bigger nations would really enjoy it.
Oh, they will, yeah.
Well, we have to a certain degree, they haven't. That one is played out square on the leg side, a little bit of single. To get himself off the mark. You know, I mean, Sri Lanka got rolled. I mean, South Africa must have loved bowling on that, but I mean, there was too much in it for the bowlers, which is, you know, I don't mind. It's a T20, it's a game of skill, isn't it? Too many batsmen these days just root their feet and swing at the ball.
And whilst over's done, Jacob says, I want the old Josh Little jingle back. Well, you have to ask the bear nicely.
Well, I thought that might have been it, but clearly it isn't. There, last ball of the over. Oh, is that edged? No, it's gone off the seam. That's what I kept thinking was happening the other day. That's through to the keeper. That's a cracking delivery. And there is no run. 13 for 1 after 3 overs. Carry on.
Annie Chave, who is in the green room, appropriately for an Ireland game, sends us a picture out the back of Gorilla Towers of the family of foxes.
Yes, the
outside.
foxes are back. Is it on our back garden? Oh, it's chilling on the seat out there.
Yeah. And Andrew Dow has responded to that saying, vermin, faulty, vermin.
Yeah, well.
From the Major, I think.
They chill as well in the back garden next door. They were there a couple of years ago. Or, in fact, must have been before the pandemic. So there's another lot have come back. No one disturbs them and they just chill out in the back garden.
They do make a hell of a racket, though, at some point.
Well, yeah, generally not during the day, thankfully.
No.
It's always at night. Pargat is going to face up. Joshua Little is coming in, left arm over. And it's worked down to the man on the 45. Can't beat him. He's halfway down the track. Christ almighty. The fielder didn't let go of the ball, and then by the time he had decided to do that, he was on his way back, and there was no problem.
I don't think Johnson's as keen on singles as his partners.
No.
To point that out. Be interesting if was it Kuzma comes in, because he's very quick. He runs a lot of twos and he runs hard, so.
But it was straight to the man. I mean, there wasn't a single there anyway. Maybe there isn't a T20. I don't know. They're doing tough. That's driven up outside edge. Going to go down a third man. Will get himself a single. Bringing Johnson back on the strike.
Johnson does have a touch of the Chris Gales about his running between the wickets.
Yeah.
It's sort of on sufferance rather than by choice.
Certainly looks quite confident, does Johnson.
He's got a very good record. I think his T20 average is 49.4 with a couple of centuries and 550s in 18
wow.
games.
That's a pretty good go, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's playing Bermuda, but still.
Yeah. And no doubt he's played some sort of first-class cricket in the Windies or something. That one is a horrible shot, though. It's inside edge, Vatican slice. He's going to get 4 runs for it, though. Beats the man short on 45. And she'll give it a little jingle. That fielder down there is getting a lot of work at the moment. It's either turn around a corner, inside edges. That was a horrible shot, that wasn't it? He just fished it outside his off stump with no real conviction. Managed to chop it past the inside of his leg stump pretty luckily. $18 for 1, Canada.
He scored 266 runs in 3 games against Oman, Johnson. That's where his average comes from.
Well, that's a good shot. He's picked that one up over the top of no nonsense, over the top of mid-off, wide mid-off. It's gone down to the long off boundary. It'll be 4 runs.
4, 4, 4. F-O-R.
Yeah, but that's a perfect ball to free your arms and hit over the top.
Well, yeah, it was pretty full and pretty wide. Certainly gives you the opportunity to play that shot. Little over the wicket. Gone 4-4. That's nicely clipped into the leg side. There is a man in the deep. They'll go for 1. They're going to come back for 2. They are not. 10 off this over so far, 1 ball to go.
Yeah, running long run of ball, Canada, which should, again, if we think it's a 120 pitch, is perfectly acceptable.
Well, I don't think it. I think still should be able to get, 150, 160. You'd have thought. The good teams.
They might need it if they bowl the way they did the other day.
Well, that's down leg side. It should be a wide. Is it going to be a wide? Yeah, it is going to be a wide. Don't roll too much into the pads. So we're still awaiting the last ball of this 3rd over. USA top of the table with 4 points. Net run rate of 0.63. India. Net run
this
rate.
group's fascinating now, isn't it?
Well, it
Because
is,
Ireland-
isn't it? I mean, that really does. That's hit. Ooh, just over the top of a diving man at cover. Might make it to the boundary. It might not. It's going to be hauled in just inside, but they should get back for 3. They do.
Tells you how slow the outfield is.
Yeah. Shake of the head by Josh Little. But Canada move on to 27 for 1 after 4.
Speaking of that, Farong says, greetings all, hope everyone is well. Is Group A already done and dusted? Team Tata and Team Stars and Strikes into the Super 8. Will be interesting to see if the pitch has matured or if cement dust has been added.
Well, who knows?
I mean, if USA beats Ireland and Pakistan doesn't beat the India, then yeah, done. But you wouldn't necessarily bank on India and USA beating Ireland. So it actually opens it up for Ireland to potentially jump all of them, despite the fact that they got annihilated by India.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And Brian Barrishill comes back with, in an alternate reality, and this is a world gone mad, I'm here in the studio calling this match with you because I'm in London to watch the Phillies and the Mets this weekend. Yes, there's MLB in London this weekend at the London Stadium. He sent us a picture of it, of some mascots looking very stupid by the London Eye.
What? Brian, you're in London. Why aren't you in here?
No, in an alternate reality
Oh, right,
he would
okay.
be.
Okay. I was confused. That's worked down to the man again on the 45, but this time he doesn't manage to beat them. And there's Pargat, but they get a single.
Brian had to go to Toronto to commentate Australian rules football.
Yeah, I know. He's all over the place, that boy.
Great youngster dude, a good attitude, a breedy born dude, looks good in the nude.
Oh, Young is in, defended by Johnson out to the offside, and there is no run.
It's not masses of movement for Ireland, is there, off the pitch or off?
No, it's certainly less movement than there was the other day, and maybe that's what they're trying to tamp down on. It's kind of a little bit unfair on the teams that lost on this pitch if they kind of go that way.
Yeah, well,
although it kind of makes sense.
I did make the point on Wednesday that you've got 4 pitches to play 8 games, and the first games on those pitches might not be when they're completely mature and ready.
Oh, exactly. That's played out to the covers, and there is no run. I'm chasing the run out for this next wicket.
They might just be very slightly underdone for the first matches and slightly overdone for the second.
Yeah, well, everyone does like runs, but there has to be some sort of fairness.
Well, you don't want to be like the IPL, do you? Where it's scoring 240, particularly if you're playing a full member against an associate.
Well, exactly. I mean, I think if the pitches are a little bit spicy, you know, associates may well get rolled. That's just defending the offside and there's no run. But it also opens up those biffers who think it's really easy in the IPL to be a bit flummoxed. I mean, look, fucking took, South Africa 15, 16 overs to chase down 77 the other day, or whatever it was.
It was 77 for the first match against South Africa, and then 97 for the match against India.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
progressive.
Well, you get the interesting associate games like PNG versus Uganda where they're 7 down, chasing 60 something.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's quite fun. I quite enjoy those games. It all gets a bit hectic. That's just played into the offside by Johnson. Thinks about a run, but it's not there.
Johnson does remind me of somebody I play with who plays the shot and then has a walk down the wicket every ball just to tempt the throw.
Yeah, doesn't want to screw that up though.
He's more keen to run when it's on. When he's on strike, isn't he?
Well, they're his runs, obviously. That's why.
One of those batsmen, huh? That's pulled. Has he got enough on that? No, he hasn't. He's going to be out. Johnson is out, pulling that from well outside off stump. Really didn't get in position. Timed it quite nicely, but just didn't have enough length on it. It was an easy catch in the end. Down at deep backward square leg. Ireland will feel that they have got rid of one of the potential people that could do them some serious damage. We'll send him off. He's gone for 14 off 13. Johnson is out.
Another one bites the dust. I think that is going to be out, Fred. Another one bites the dust.
Caught by Curtis Camphor. He was trying to pull that from too wide of off stump, wasn't he, Russ?
Yeah, and maybe a bit too full. He kind of got back and across, and it didn't get up at all, and he kind of ended up kind of taking it from around his kind of thighs instead of higher up.
Yeah.
It's also very high on the bat, so they didn't get the levers into effect. If he had hit it lower on the bat, that would have sailed over the man for 6.
He kind of cracked his wrists on it, but
Yeah.
it's a bit too wide, I think, for that. Next one in is going to be Bajwa. Now, where's his jingle? Oh, I don't have a jingle for him.
So
Yes, I do. Dilpreet Bajwa. Here we go.
Attack of Dilpreet Bajwa. He'll hold you down and knock you out, and that's no joke. Dilpreet Bajwa.
that was the end of the over, in fact. So very quickly, Frong says, having just thought about it, hold on, Ireland need to beat Canada first. And Dutch bird Kate, who has a team in this match, not in this match, in this tournament, says of that picture of the foxes, which one is called Hendo?
None. That one is cut and well by Pargat. Just beats 3 fielders trying to chase it down to the point boundary, but it will be 4 runs. Well, Nick Vickers asked on YouTube, says, hi Pair Jason Russ. Good to see Mooney Ponds in on the act. What do we all think about England-Australia tomorrow? I think we're going to wallop you. No, I don't know if we'll wallop you, but
I think we're going to get walloped. I think we can afford to lose that match. We couldn't afford to lose the Scotland match, which is why a point out of that is not the worst result, but it makes life interesting for the rest of the group stage.
it does.
Makes it interesting if England lose, because then Scotland's a a draw against Australia away from qualifying.
Well, a rained off match, possibly. That one is on the legs of Pargat, who can just help it on its way very fine down the leg side, and there'll be 4 more.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That was a poor ball, poorly directed.
When does Australia play Scotland? Can they manipulate the net run rate for put England out? That would be a humiliating.
Yeah. I think we've got a good chance against you tomorrow. It'll be a tough game as per normal. Played into the offside. Ooh, attempted run. He set off very quickly to Pargat and realised the fielder might actually field it. Stopped.
I mean,
carried on.
Yes.
Through easily enough.
Australia won against, was it Oman? But Oman took 4 wickets, made them chase 130, and Stoinis needed a 60 odd in that to get them over the line. So no, Oman weren't completely humiliated by any stretch of the imagination.
Australia actually batted pretty slowly, and then there was just a couple of bad overs from Oman that let them get a decent scoring. But yes, Australia does play Scotland last. So
defended by Bajwa up to mid off, and there is no run.
So there could be an 82 World Cup scenario where Austria and who was it? Austria and West Germany put out East Germany.
Yes, when they just played out a boring draw, didn't they? A little bit of chat between the Irish players. A bit tetchy.
Unfortunately, with the Super Over, you can't deliberately tie a game.
No, exactly. McCarthy. Oh, that's down leg side. There's an appeal caught behind.
Sure, that's off the pad.
Yeah,
if it's anything.
So. Well, let's quickly put away the appeal after it is not upheld.
A loose over this one.
Yeah, that it is.
Canada showed in that first game they can, they're decent bats. They can score. So Ireland does need to keep it tight.
It's just dropped into the offside. There will not be a run.
It's also interesting they pushed Curtin down the order by the looks, despite the fact he scored pretty well in the first game.
Maybe they want him as a finisher.
Anyway, that's it. The over. Annie Chafe says none of those foxes answered to the name of Hendo. Speaking of Hendo, we hope he gets better soon in his current malaise.
Yes, very much malaise.
Messenger says this is the first 6 games in 6 days at this stadium. Then after Wednesday, we're off to Florida and Long Island and can get its park back. And Brian Barrow says, from the Gorillas in the Wild department, our own Jack Hope was on NPR today talking briefly about the USA's win during their morning show. So these tourists are now famous here in the States for various reasons.
That's into the pads. Pargat plays to John's side. Ooh, they go through for a quick single. And it's there. It was pretty quick and quite risky.
Well, there are good singles and bad singles, aren't there?
Obviously.
Same as there are good leaves and bad leaves.
I think he made that pretty comfortably, though. He's almost in by the time he picked the ball up.
Yeah.
Maybe the not strikers in.
They went quick. Sparse crowd today.
You wouldn't expect the crowd for Canada versus Ireland, though, would you?
Not really. That one goes away from the batsman a little bit. He just defends it, helps it past man at backward point down towards third man. They get themselves a single.
Or to put it another way, I don't think this is sparser than you would get in Australia for the same game.
Yeah.
This is a game that in Australia would be farmed out to somewhere like the Manuka Oval, wouldn't it?
Yes, you wouldn't put it in a 50,000 seat stadium that you've set up specifically for India versus
You
Pakistan.
put it in somewhere which has a 10,000 capacity so that the crowd looks big.
Yeah. Played down to point once more, and there is no run. It's the kind of thing you could have at Taunton or something like that, and it would look pretty full.
Taunton, Essex is 10,000 capacity. You get a rowdy crowd there regardless.
well, a pretty diverse population here. You can pretty much fill a stadium with pretty much anybody, supporting anybody. Will Young is in. That's a good shot. Pargett, well, actually it's not as good a shot as I thought. Pargett came down the track to meet the ball. Didn't time it as well as I thought he did. Sort of clothed it out to deep cover. I get back for 2.
Might have been best he didn't get more on it because he might have been caught.
Yeah.
It's pretty far from his body. A lot of slice in that shot.
But anything that's along the floor, the ground just saps all the power out of it, I think.
Yeah.
That's traditional in US cricket, isn't it? With grass about 4 inches long. That's how they play their club games.
Yeah, very sandy as well, isn't it? That's short over the top of the bowler. We're out of power play. In fact, we're going to have a change in the commentary box in 2 balls' time. John B is going to give you some commentary. He is going to be joined by Messi, I've got on here, and Sagir. Neither of whom are actually... Oh, Messi is. Sorry. But Sagir's not here yet. I'll hang around till he turns up.
I would not. I'll be going to bed.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You got to get up and
We
do.
will.
Oh, big outside half of the bat caught down at third man. Thought he hadn't got that much on it, but Pargett's had a big swing at one. Didn't really get to it at all. Looked like he was feeling for it a little bit at the end. Put it way up in the air off the outside half of the bat down towards third man. Had to go round a little bit. Was it Mark Adair down there catching it? I think so. He had to go around about 10 yards, but he caught it easy enough in the end. It wasn't there for that shot. We have to say goodbye to Pargett.
I won't look back, 'cause by the time that I do, you'll be gone.
Whilst we go on, Russ.
So I was going to say, that was an extremely similar type of shot to the one we just said a few balls earlier, that if he got more on it, he would have been caught down the deep. So he didn't learn any lessons from what might have been.
No, he didn't.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening, Sagir. How are you, mate?
Not too bad.
Excellent.
Ireland on top in this game, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that brings Nicholas Curtin to the crease. I'm
You
quite
need
excited.
to put that in the.
Sorry, go ahead.
You need to put that in the context that no team has yet scored 100 on this pitch, Sagir. So
Yeah.
maybe not such a bad score.
Yeah, it doesn't, to be fair, Messi, it's not playing as bad as it has done. There's been a bit of early movement, but it's certainly not as quick and jagging about as it has been. Well, we were due to have a change at the end of this over, since you're all 3 here. We might as well do it now. Let Messi have a... Sorry, let Russ go to bed 1 ball early. There you go, Russ.
Well, I'll see you all in the morning for those who are going to get up for which Afghanistan, Netherlands, New Zealand, I think we're playing. Thanks all.
See you then.
See you later.
Thanks, Russ.
Enjoy.
Russ.
John has shown up. I'll just shoot that last ball through to the keeper. No run. Over to you, John. You can take us through to the next 6 overs. Who's doing Messi? I presume
Yep.
you can do some socials.
Indeed.
Yeah, Rolf Paulson's the next one.
Okay, Rolf Paulson says West Germany, Austria 1-0. Send Algeria packing in Spain 82. Brian Barry says this game should have been at Church Street Park in North Carolina, the OG USA home oval. Capacity 1,500, better sight lines, shade, and just a better atmosphere. Yes, and easier to get to, no doubt. Hearing some of the tales of getting there, Peter Lawler was saying today that an Uber from Manhattan is $170 to
Wow.
Wow.
the ground.
Well, here's McCarthy with the first ball of the 8th over, which is swung away into the deep. Didn't get it off the right part of the bat, I don't think. But it's a single. It's 43 for 3. This is subsiding a little. Afternoon, Sagir. Afternoon, Messi.
Hello, John. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here. Good to be here.
Just an update on the ground. I think initially the ground was slated to be actually in New York City. but the
Yes.
suburban residents, I think, voiced their objection and didn't really want anything to do with it. So it's one of those cases of not in my backyard kind of situations.
Aha. In comes McCarthy again. This is driven to mid-on. No run. Sorry, a signal. They scampered through. Fielder looked as if he got onto that a little slowly, I thought. But there's no doubt that Ireland are on top. The wicket has played a little better. I think there's a little less grass on it. And they've probably squeezed some moisture out of it as well with the heavy roller.
Yeah, it definitely isn't as vicious as the last two games that were played over here.
Here's McCarthy again, and this is played off the pads to mid-wicket. Good piece of fielding, shy at the stumps. But the batter is back. And so no run, 44 for 3. Nicholas Curtin's come out to bat after the fall of that last wicket, 50 in the first game. And strike rate of 123.
He seems to be a really wonderful prospect because I watched that game, the first game against USA, and he hit 2 lofted drives over extra cover for sixes. Absolutely beautiful timing.
Here's McCarthy. Oh, that's a real maker's name on the bat shot. Lovely straight drive over the top, back past the bowler for 4 runs. Super shot.
It's Nissan She. It's Nissan She.
Bajwa enjoyed that, didn't he? Held the pose.
Absolutely.
Made sure everyone could read the maker's name.
How often do you get to play a shot like that at an international stage and have it broadcast across the world?
Yeah, just enjoy it when you do.
Yeah.
Here's McCarthy in again, and this is dabbed down to third man. It's fielded, and there's one more, so we're 1 short of 50. There's 1 ball of the 8th over to go. Bearing in
They've
mind,
managed to keep a very decent strike rate despite wicket losses.
yeah, I mean, bearing in mind the wicket's a little better, I wonder, and that their bowling wasn't terribly clever against the USA, although that looks better now in the light of the USA's win last night. I wonder how many they need. Here's McCarthy in, and this is swung away down the leg side. That wasn't a good ball. It's gone for 4. It's beaten the man down there who was coming round from long leg to fine. He didn't get it. It's run away for another one of these.
There are shades of Rachin Ravindra in the way Nicholas Curtin bats. He's got that really high sort of back left, long levers, and a bit of elegance about the way he plays his shots as well.
Long levers.
Nick Pickers says we're in the new. We finished an over, didn't we? He says, blaming NIMBYs, aren't they supposed to be against high-speed rail and fracking, not the slap of leather on Willer? I think it's important to understand that the reason they didn't want it in Brooklyn it would have meant that existing cricket games would have been put off for several months. And there's a lot of cricket in New York. There's 221 teams that play in the New York greater area. And they were very much against having all their games in Brooklyn washed out effectively for 3 months.
Quite rightly so.
Yeah.
Absolutely rightly so. We can't have all the money tread all over grassroots cricket. We have spin and we have a wicket, I think. He's chipped it straight
what
back.
a catch.
He's chipped it straight back to Delaney. Oh, he's dragging himself away from the crease. It's Bajwa.
And he had been playing so well as well. Like most of the shots he had hit so far were just clean hits. This one, I think the ball just seemed to bounce a little bit and hurry up on him, so he wasn't in a position to hit it. And I think even though he wanted to pull it over mid-wicket, it looks like he was a little bit too early into the shot, and it just went straight back to the bowler who did a good
Just
job.
ballooned
Like,
back,
having that,
but the bowler did well though, considering he was kind of following through.
Yeah.
But a wicket with his first ball for Delaney.
Already played the jingle.
You already played
for
the
it.
jingle, that's fine.
All right.
That's fine, I couldn't tell from my end. Well, that's Bourgeois gone for 7. 53 for 4. This is starting to have a touch of the skids about it. That has to be said.
Our man on site, Mayank, says this is a proper 160 plus pitch. We're really surprised that the ICC has totally mismanaged this event. I would be surprised if it wasn't fucked up, to be honest.
Yeah, true. I mean, I just can't believe how they have managed to price tickets for these games starting at $200, $200 US. Right? I mean, Jez, you know that if we go to the Optus to watch any international T20 game, we can get the cheapest tickets for anything about 40 to 60 Australian dollars.
That's right, yeah. That's exactly right. I mean, I get a full year's membership of the WACA, which includes the Test and the ODI and the T20I for about $300.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, the new man is at the crease, Mother, and he's going to receive, and he plays it out into the covers. No run. Well, this is a real rebuilding job now. Delaney again to Mova, and he plays this down to mid-on to go off the mark because mid-on's back on fence. Hector ran into field. Shreyas Mova, not a great deal of international experience, only 6 caps and only 73 runs.
He did play well against the US the other day, scoring about 32.
Yeah, he got 32, I think. That was his best score so far.
And almost at 2 runs per ball.
And they're going to need those now, it has to be said.
Yes. Well, I guess they probably need somebody to last a fair
Here
bit
is
too.
Delaney, and this is played away to mid-wicket, where Paul Sterling manages to stop it, and he's quite a formidable barrier. Doesn't necessarily move that quickly. I can say that about Paul. I know him quite well. That one's tickled away off the legs down to the man at square, and they've scampered back for 2. That's good running. That's very good running indeed. 56 for 4. We're going to have to do a bit of that, I think. No, I was just reflecting on the fact that Middlesex could have done with Paul Sterling last night, having collapsed from 108 for none to 173 all out in their latest T20 encounter.
How Middlesex is that, though, John?
Very, it has to be said. This one's played out to wide mid-off, and is a single, 57 for 4. Yeah, that's very Middlesex. I think the only surprise was that they were 108 for none.
Is it Esky playing for him?
Yeah, he got 48 last night, but unfortunately he got out at just the wrong moment, and everything else capitulated. But,
Pokey says, did I just hear ghostly Annie, or am I having a stroke? No, Annie's in the studio making Bear laugh, and that's what you heard in the background. Annie makes us all laugh. That's the beauty of Annie. Is the wicket becoming more unpredictable, says Kieran Roseblade? Maybe it will as the roller wears off. Mike says, in case you guys didn't know, the ends are south and north end. Really original shit.
Yeah, that's really creative, isn't it? Wow.
By the way, in terms of the ticket sales, there was an article on the Wisdom site today indicating that 2/3 of the seats, the executive seats for $2,500, haven't been sold for India versus Pakistan. That's going to be a good look.
Curtis
Yeah,
Kempfer
$2,500.
is the new bowler. He's in, and that's played down to fine leg for a single. Are we going to jingle up Mr. Kempfer? We are.
Now who's this coming on? Camphor waited in South Africa.
Here is Curtis Kempfer. He's in, and that's just played square on the offside for no run. His 55th cap, I think, for Curtis Kempfer this afternoon. 29 wickets so far. At a touch under 33. Unless my info's wrong, and if it is, Messi will tell me because he will know.
Maybe.
In comes Kampfer, and this is played out on the offside. Again fielded by the man at point, who shies at the stumps and hits them. Wow, that was a good strike, and they're going to look at this because I'm not sure his bat was grounded. You know,
He was only aiming at the one stump too. That was a remarkable piece of fielding.
my gut reaction was that he hadn't got the bat down. So I'll eat my words if he has, but it was lightning quick. Let's see. We've got a decision pending. Oh, it is down.
It just made it.
He did slide in, but it's a wonderful throw. Absolutely wonderful throw. As Messi said, just one stump to aim at, and he lit them up. But nevertheless, the batter survives.
Now, speaking of wonderful throws, there's been this little banter between baseball and cricket fans on Twitter at the moment.
Kemp has edged that one away. Fielder's coming round, does well to stop that going for 4. That's Tector again, I think, down in the deep. And he slid onto that. No, it's Young, in fact. He took a huge divot out of the turf. So I think he's putting it back in and stamping on it.
Actually, the turf seems a little less sandy today for some reason. It's the outfield seems slightly less slow than it was. So I don't know what they managed to do, but maybe they've extracted some of that sand.
This is paddled.
Or maybe that sand is settling
on
in.
the leg side.
Yeah.
Thrown back in, just a single. 61 for 4. One ball of the 10th to go to take us to the halfway point.
Yeah, so going back to that discussion about the banter between baseball and cricket fans, so somebody posted this play from a baseball match where some fielder in the outfield, chased a ball, obviously used this glove, turned around and threw it directly at one of the bases where the other guy caught it, and maybe one of the pitchers or hitters was out. And hang on, I'll continue after this.
Tickled round on the leg side, more work to do on the boundary. But Young is across. They've scampered back for 2 to take us to 63 for 4 at the halfway mark. Messi.
I'll just let Seguir finish that.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
We'll have a drinks break now, anyhow.
And then they tagged, I think, the cricket fans and said, do you guys have anything like this in cricket? And I think the T20, the blast, the Vitality blast, those guys said, we'll answer this question for you. And then they posted a compilation of really amazing catches and fieldings, performances that had happened in the T20 blast over the last few years, and said, look, we can do what you did, more than that, and that too without a mitt.
Touche.
Well, yeah. I think it's fair to say that actually baseball fielders, that the mitt does make some things a bit easier, but the throws that baseball fielders have in general, I would say, are stronger than the throws in cricket. There's some remarkable arms in that. Mayank confirms. He says, yes, that's true, Messi. $2,500, $4,000 and $10,000 for those box seats. I bought one because I'm a nut. You certainly are, Mayank. But I see on the website more than 2/3 are still available. No decision to lower those prices yet. That's just sheer greed by the ICC.
That's mad.
Yeah. Graham Colwell says, who did the panel fancy for England versus Australia? Also, do Pakistan give India a game, or are they shocked after losing yesterday? Well, if Pakistan lose to India, they're going to be in very severe jeopardy in terms of getting into the next round. There's no doubt about that. And Mike says Pakistan will either fold inside 10 overs versus India or bundle India out for under 75. There's no in between with them. That's right.
Well, the trouble is, Messi, you don't know what you're going to get, do you? And again, last night, we didn't know what we were going to get. They underperformed. And the USA ruthlessly took advantage and kind of rode the emotional wave. But it's almost impossible to gauge from that what Pakistan will do next time they come out, because they might be brilliant or they might be terrible.
Yeah, true, true.
I think the thing about Pakistan, they do have the capacity to be brilliant, but they're much more consistently terrible. And they have been over the last 9 months or so. And I think the other thing that's understated is how good the USA were. I mean, their skipper is not only a good bat, he's a better wicketkeeper, certainly than the Pakistan wicketkeeper, but an awful lot of wicketkeepers I saw in the IPL too. I'm really impressed with some of the skills of the USA team. So I think there's a very good chance that they'll get through to the next round, which would be really good for cricket. The other thing that I noticed is that we've had, in 12 previous games, we've had 2 super overs. In about 742 IPL games this year, we didn't have any.
Single one, yeah, true.
Here is Delaney as the drinks break is over, and this is driven to mid-off with one hand taken off the bat by Mover. He gets a single, goes to 5. Curtin has 11. I was going to say the standard of wicket keeping in the IPL is a bit of a joke anyway, because the trouble is cricket doesn't care about wicket keepers anymore. Here's Delaney, he's in, and this is played off his pads to square of the wicket. They've raced back for 2 again. That's very good running. Very, very good running. I think Curtin wanted to get back on strike. He's got to 13.
Going back to Messi's earlier point about some of the other nations, so far in this tournament, all the interesting, closely fought games have been between the associates or between an associate and one of the leading teams.
Delaney cuts this ball away into the offside. Curtin cuts this ball away from Delaney out into the offside. He's got one more. It's gone to 14. 67 for 4. So a little bit of a repair job being done by this pair.
Which is something that they need. They can't afford to lose any more wickets, at least for the next 3 or 4 overs.
Yeah, they need to go deep, don't they? Delaney in, and this is played very respectfully and defensively. Out to the man at short cover, no run.
Shout out to Emily Elizabeth, one of our long-term friends, who's just joined us. Says hello all. Hello, Emily. I hope you're feeling a bit better.
Has Emily not been well? Here's Delaney. This is down the track, driven out on the offside. He didn't really get it. Sort of skewed away off the outside half of the bat. But they got it away for another 2, I think. Takes Mover to 7. 9 balls. 69 for 4.
I can hear Annie in the background too now.
Cut away into the offside, no run. It's never a bad thing to hear the tones of Annie Chave, it has to be said.
No.
Long may it be so. Long may it be so.
Now, a man, Mayank, in the ground says that the field is still very slow, but the sand isn't puffing up like it did in the last 2 games. So it looks like whatever job they did with the outfield, slowly that outfield is now settling down, especially with all the people traipsing around and fielding drills and bowling practices and God knows what else.
Well, they've got to be relieved that things are looking better for the match between India and Pakistan. Farang says, Matchy Day. We've just had to treat them like we treat Bangladesh, says USA captain. They were once West Bangladesh before they were Pakistan. How difficult can it be to beat them? Well, it's completely wrong, because they were East Pakistan before they were Bangladesh.
This ball is cut away into the offside, then comes in off the fence, that sort of point, and throws it back in, and 70 is on the board. 70 for 4, Curtin 15 from 11. I feel like a lot is resting on his shoulders at this point.
These guys might be the last recognized pair for Canada at this stage, I guess. Let me just quickly check what they did last time round. Yeah.
It comes, and this is slashed away. Beats the fielder behind point as it goes further behind the stumps than that. Young is the man to throw it back in. One more, cruise to the score, 71 for 4.
Emily Elizabeth responds. She says, "Thank you. I am hanging in there. To sum it up, stroke recovery is hard and takes ages." Thanks for the shout out there. Well, we love having you on board, Emily Elizabeth.
I understand that problem. This is in and cramps the batsman Varun. Curtin just drops in front of him really. Bowler follows through.
Now, given the way Curtin bats, do you guys not think he should probably be batting a little bit higher, maybe at 3 or 4 at the worst? Because, him coming down at 5 is probably a little bit of an injustice to his talent and maybe sort of overindulging guys like Bajwa and one of the other guys that they promoted today.
I guess that might depend on what the story is in the dressing room about what his role is. He's cramped up again here and squeezes it out on the offside. No run again though. Kempfer has found his line a bit in this over. And he's not giving Curtin any room to use those long levers that Sagir mentioned to us. He seems to be looking to keep him as cramped up as possible. What will he do to counteract that, I wonder? There's Kempfer in again and bowls, and this is a bouncer, and he sways out of the way of it. It's been signalled as a wide by the umpire. But the umpire at square has signalled that it was a wide.
Might be a very tight call over there because Nicholas Curtin is a rather tall batter.
Yeah, it was the umpire square of the wicket that signalled the wide, so it was to do with height, no doubt. Well, he settles over his bat again. Kempfer's in once more, and he does drive this one, but just to mid-off for a single. Goes to 16. I thought he was looking at his bat then for a minute as if he'd damaged it. But it seems to be okay. We're seeing the wickets to have fallen. I think from a Canadian point of view, Johnson's will be the most disappointing. He sort of got the short ball, which was a bit of a shock tactic, and he sort of just helped it round. He didn't sort of block it or hit it properly. There we are. Here's Kempfer to complete his over. This is tucked off the pads. It's a sharp single. Fielder came in, but he couldn't stop them taking it. 74 for 4 off 12. One more over for our little trio. Messi.
Brown Barry says the stories coming out of the crowd in Texas are ones of lots of new and old fans having a great time in a modern venue. The stories coming out of New York are of fans being gouged and the experience being overall awful. Should have just had all of these games in Texas. I think there's a very strong argument for that.
Yeah. And I think guys like Peter Della Penna and Nate Hayes have always been talking about, was it one of the North Carolina grounds not getting any of these games where there's a strong cricket fan base over there, and instead having these games in Nassau County in New York State. That they thought that if those games were held in North Carolina, they would have attracted much more, many more spectators as well, and would have created a good buzz around the stadium because already there's a big fan base over there. And I think Mayank might have got his ticket for including travel money and maybe a couple of nights stay, and still had loose change from his $2,500.
Yeah, that is likely, I would have thought. Well, here is Young back into the attack, 2 for 6 in his first 2 overs. He's in again, and this is just played back along the pitch. No run. Swoops down and picks it up.
Mayank has very kindly, at O'Neill Harris's suggestion, donated 1% of today's ticket price for him. So he sent us $1.99 US. Thank you very much, Mayank. And it's great to have your info from inside the ground. It really makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep that coming. Here is Young in again, and this is a big swing and a miss. Goes through the keeper. Mover is getting a little bit tetchy, not being able to keep the scoreboard moving, I think. One thing I was going to say about crowds was that for large parts of last night, the game at Lord's was pretty one-sided. At one stage it was so one-sided that if it had been a boxing match they would have stopped it. And therefore the crowd wasn't terribly engaged, but we did hear shouts of "Go USA" from the Mound stand. Oh, this is played away one-handed, and he's going to go all the way for 4.
What a shot that was.
Oh,
It's an extraordinary shot.
Yeah, even he didn't know probably where
One
it
hand
was.
off the bat. I'm not sure he entirely meant to hit it there, but there you go. He was trying to relieve a little bit of the pressure that had been building on him, I think. Yeah, I don't think he had much control of that shot at all, in fact, looking at it again. But I think he was originally intending to hit it on the offside, and it just moved across him a fraction, and yeah.
But he did hold his pose very well, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he tried to kid us that he played it properly.
Yeah.
I'm not fooled. He plays the next ball out to extra cover, no run. Yes, there were lots of chants of "Go USA" from the Mound stand last night, so there was clearly some brethren from the other side of the pond who had...
Yeah.
Mind you, there were quite a few shouts of "Go USA" from within the media room as well, I have to say. Which wasn't best helpful when I was trying to file, but there you go. Such is life. When you're just
Would
about
you
the only
change in
person...
a couple of balls?
Yes, we are, indeed. Just 2
Yeah,
more.
Jay Grover says, "Is any on the cocktails?"
Young slaps this away through extra cover. He's going to run away for 4. So Mova has got going again. Young lost his line, gave him a little bit of width. He slapped it through extra cover. Sterling doesn't look too happy with that.
There's not one boy for me, I must have 2 or 3, I need 4.
Well, Canada are well on track to be the first team to score 3 figures at this stadium.
Yeah, I'm certainly expecting that to happen.
That's an achievement.
Here comes Young again. Oh, he's hit him. He's ballooned up in the air, dropped short of the fielder. Wow, that's a good retort from Young. He said, "I'll teach you to drive me through extra cover for 4, mate." He's very nearly knocked him on the head with that. He was trying to get out of the way. It's hit the bat. He knew nothing about it. It's just pitched in front of the fielder who was running in from behind point. It's hit him on the glove, I think.
Yeah.
That'll hurt.
I mean, Canada need to be looking at posting a competitive total because their bowling isn't as strong as Irish bowlers.
No. Well, it's 82 for
as
4
we're changing
at the end
over.
of the 13th, and I will see you in the second innings.
See you
Okay,
later.
I'll do a couple of tweets to hand over to Annie. Brown Barry says it should be mentioned that the New York Mets are having a free India-Pakistan watch party at their stadium on Sunday that will cost $40 to park, and many of the food stalls will be open. Sounds like a better experience than being there. And there's one more from Brian there for you, Annie, and I'll catch you later.
Young is going to continue, and the first ball to Curtin, that's driven up to mid-off, and they scamper through for a quick single. Curtin is the man who probably has to bat all the way through here. He's got to make the most of this opportunity here.
Well, yeah, if these two are there at the end, they might well get up to 130, 140, but if they can kick on a little bit, Ireland desperately need a wicket. I'll lay my cards on the table. I think I've got under 127.5, so I'm rooting for Ireland to get some wickets.
Little, and that's on the stumps, and that's quite well fiddled by Mova into the offside.
Fiddled, is that a term, is it?
Well, it was a little bit of fiddly shot.
Fiddle.
Anyone who plays cricket knows what you mean, Jace.
But it was split the fielders, and they scampered a quick single. And then moves on to 84 for 4. Both guys go get a bat to run a ball, and hopefully looking to up their rate very slightly on this.
It certainly looks easier than it has done.
Yeah, that's.
Or are Canada making it look easier?
It's countermanded a little bit by the fact that the outfield is so slow that they're not getting value for any shots.
No, that's true.
Little in again. That's a shot. That's walked across and flicked it off his legs. But it's not going to make the boundary. It's going to be another long chase and another long run to the batsman. And did they make 3 there? I think they only made 2 there.
I think they made 3 there.
Let's just see.
I'll tell you what, Somerset's boundary is faster than that.
They did make 3 there, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
he
think
kinda got
the
the toe
boundary
of it.
fielder was, I think Dockrell, he had to make quite a lot of ground to get to that.
He didn't
Anyway.
actually get out that far towards the fence, did it? It wasn't. It was a bit toe endy.
Let's have a look. Yes, they did make 3. Lit in again, and that's a shorter ball. He can't quite. Well, he strappled that straight back up the ground. But if the bowler had been fielding that, they wouldn't have got anything. But because it was straight back at him, but he didn't react quickly enough. And Curtin gets a single.
Barbadian-born Curtin. The second of Canada's team that are Barbadian-born.
They've got 25 minutes to do the rest of to get to the first ball of the 20th over. That's probably enough time. And that's another nicely piece of work with an unnecessary dive from Mova to get into the crease. As a misfield from the guy running in.
Yeah, well, he didn't. If he'd have fielded it correctly,
if he fielded it correctly, it would have been close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he missed it.
But I still think he was going to make it anyway.
Yeah, probably.
So
you can't win, can you? You're criticised if you don't put your bat down. You're criticised if you try and dive too much.
Yeah. Last ball of the over, and that's outside edged, but it's not going to beat the fielder at third man. Single to end the over. 90 for 4 off 14. Mova is on 20 off 21. Curtin is on 21 off 17. Annie.
Well, I don't really have any tweets, but I do have the second one from Brian Barish. Hello, Brian, who says, I think he's continuing on from what he was saying before. Morrisville, where Church Street Park is a hotbed of cricket, was literally travelling around before the MILC final happened across a pickup match happening on a softball field.
Okay. I should say that Mike gave us $1.99 requested by O'Harris. There you go. To which O'Harris has responded with $2. And it goes matching Mike. Thank you both very much.
Well, look at the projected scores. At the current run rate, they should get 129. At 8 and over, they get 138, and at 10 and over, they get 150. I don't think anyone's been scoring at 10 and over in this innings so far.
No, I need wicket. Wicket will slow it down. Ideally, 2.
It will. We're looking at some very cute little mini mini houses. So McCarthy comes on to bowl. He's had 0 for 20 off his 2 overs so far. And he'll be bowling to Mova.
Well, these two got runs in the game against USA, didn't they? Both one got 51 and one got 32. So these are the guys they want to get out.
Yeah. And McCarthy's in. That's chopped down into the offside, but he can't beat the backward point. And that's a dot ball. A precious dot ball for Ireland. And Sterlo is wandering around, chomping at the bit and barking his orders. He's got a very wide-brimmed hat on. He must be quite worried he's going to burn up if he has something a normal cap on.
Well, he's probably quite fair-skinned, isn't he?
Yes. McCarthy in again. That's a short ball, and that's given the full beans, but that's straight to the fielder on the boundary, and that's an easy single, or just walk a single.
Apparently this outfield's very sandy, isn't it? Which doesn't help with the pace across it.
No,
I imagine it's quite soft.
And it's quite lush and it's quite soft. It looks like a grass fairway for a golf course more than anything else.
A little bit, yes.
No, that it's got that squidgy sort of take all the pace out of the ball.
Yeah.
So hit a proper shot along the floor and it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
If you hit it in the air, it goes miles and then plugs.
Yes.
McCarthy in again. That's good ball just outside off stump. That's well fielded at gully and backward point, and that's prevented a run there. Superb piece of work.
Got his glasses on his face from doing it, but it was excellent bit of work. You're right.
That was Tector.
Did you see the film of them putting the drop in pitch?
Yeah, the 5-minute thing that was on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, it was quite interesting.
Yeah. Came from Adelaide, didn't it?
Via LA and other places.
I didn't realise it was so they took such a shallow. I thought it'd been like a foot deep or something.
Oh, that's lifted off a length from from McCarthy. That's a really good ball, and Curtin has fenced at that.
I thought he gloved that,
and I think he's done very well to get his bat and gloves out of the way of that in the end. And it's taken by Tucker, well above his head.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's a great ball.
It's a fantastic delivery to extract that much of that out of this wicket with the ball. So this wicket is not settling down. There's still something in there if you prepare to bend your back.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you have to bend your back a little bit more today than you have done.
That's another ball short of a length with exactly the same result.
It's an excellent over so far, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gone for 1 run so far.
Yeah.
In the 15th.
I think he's worked out to bowl into the pitch now. Don't pitch it up. Don't let them drive. And that's moved away very slightly as well as it's pitched.
No, scrambled seam. And it hit the seam and went straight
Yeah,
on.
certainly moved off the seam, yeah.
So, can he get out of this over with just the one off it? Last ball of the over. McCarthy in. That's another short ball, and he tried the third thing in a row, and that's been glanced down to third man. They've got through for a single. McCarthy gets out of the over with 2. He's now 0 for 22, and Ireland. Canada are 92 for 4.
Yeah.
That's a good over.
Is he the only left-handed batter in the both sides? Because there aren't any left-handed batters in
Ireland, no.
Ireland.
Not since was it Porterfield was left-handed? And
one of them was at the top of the order.
And they had another one in sort of the middle order.
I'm just trying to see if there's any other. I couldn't see that there was another. Oh no, there is one other in the Canada side. Zafar. Anyway, I haven't got any socials because nobody wants to speak to me.
No, come on, people.
Young is in, and that's bowled onto the bat, and he's just deposited that straight back over his head. And I think that's a 6. Yes, it is a 6. Lovely shot. Very clean. Curtin's got long levers, and he's just used them to the best possible result.
It came out of nowhere, didn't it? It was very full, but not quite full enough, and he was able to get underneath it.
Yeah, it skidded on a bit more than banged in, though, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's the wrong length, I think, for that. That's a failure of either thinking or execution there. That's off his legs, and that's gone quickly off his legs down to the fine leg boundary. Is that 4 runs or is that 4 leg byes?
Well, it's 4 or something.
I think it's 4 runs.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, it's been giving us runs.
I thought the pace it went off, it had to be runs, but and Canada have broken 100. They're 102 for 4.
Exactly, and Young's bowling completely the wrong bloody.
No, he should have taken a book out of McCarthy's over last over where he was banging it in just short of a length.
Yes.
And getting the ball to lift. But he's got his own plans.
It does seem to be the successful way to bowl in this T20 World Cup so far, banging it in.
Well, that's always the case when it's your pitch is slightly underdone. You bang it in, the guy assumes it's going to come up, and it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Round the wicket now for Young. He's trying something different. That's worked round the corner. I think they only get 1 there. Yes, they do. So 11 off the over so far. Profitable over. And Mova gets to get on strike now.
You've had $19.99 from Dara Azizi. Thank you very much, Dara.
Yes.
Thumbs up.
What's $19 in sterling?
Well, which dollars are they?
Yeah.
Question. It's used over so many places.
That's true. I think they're American dollars.
I've no idea about exchange rates these days.
Young, 4th ball of the over. That's slightly short. That's chopped down to third man. Continues the trend of scoring off every ball in the over.
Yes, it's very different to the last over, isn't it?
and definitely encouraging them to the Canadian batters to express themselves.
Yeah. They're accelerating a little bit towards the end here.
That's a good response by
Yes.
Young. Short ball, angled in from round the wicket to Curtin. He tries to flick it over the keeper's head, but he can't get the
I
bat
think
on
it hurt his hand quite a bit there.
Well, if it hurt his hand, why are they not appealing?
Was it off the bat at that point? Let's have a look. No, he's just twisted his...
Twisted it when he went for it, yeah.
Anyway, last ball of the over. That's full, trying to Yorker, and that's got the same treatment as the first ball of the over. That's gone straight back over mid-off, and it's just landed just over the line. It's another one of these.
That was a great shot. In the slot, picked it up nicely.
A very profitable over for Canada. They're now, I think, 109 for 4 after 16 overs.
Well, I do have some tweets. Brian Barish says, "Hi Annie." Thank you, Brian. Thank you. And Hombrenevo, I think I've got that right. says, I never get it right. I always go, oh no, he's tweeted again. He says, "Happy Friday, fantastic gorillas, and hi Annie." I don't know how to take that. And Mark Zip says, "We're out here going through a record collection, explained to the guy about the cricket. He heard something in passing about the USA team winning or something."
Or something. Yeah. Well, there's been a bit of running repairs for Curtin, I think, in that over for that little wrist injury that he may have caused himself. It was a good tap in that last over. 76 metres was the carry for that ball, which is a decent hit on any ground.
Yeah.
Would have gone twice on an IPL pitch, wouldn't it?
Little in. That's a slower ball, but that's bunted up towards mid-off, and they scramble through for a quick single. And score moves to Nelson, 111.
This is good batting by Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very positive by these two.
It's positive, it's assertive, it's not wasting really any balls.
No. They've been up in the pace. They've got
13,
they've got
loads of wickets in hand.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, true. It's the name of the game, isn't it?
No. The idea is to maximise your runs. It doesn't really matter how many wickets you lose.
I have to say, it's very nice being back in the studio.
Yeah.
Been a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, well, best part of a year, I think, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I know, more than a year. Oh, no, maybe not. Yeah, around a year.
Little to continue. That's outside off stump, and Curtin clears the front leg and then smashes it off the back foot over cover for 4 to the extra cover boundary. And from scoring a runner ball when he was on about 20, Curtin has suddenly moved to 43 off 27 in the last flurry of runs. And he moves across and dinks the ball into the leg side. Are they going to get 2? Yes, they are going to get 2. That's well run.
Running.
That was well run.
And well batted, because he's played that with enough weight to ensure he gets the 2. And Curtin is congratulating his runner, who's running back to the danger end at the bowler's end.
Looks like you don't have an IPL contract set for life.
Well,
although that probably doesn't do it yet quite.
Oh, yeah, you need to produce more than one innings, I think, for that. This is short by Little. Curtin ducks and ignores the ball.
This is his second innings. He did well in the first game.
He got a 40 or 50 in the first.
Yeah. He's got his name on IPL list now.
He got his name in IPL people to watch, I think, rather than people to get contracts for.
When did it come to the point where it's all about the IPL rather than about anything else?
Well, it's the most wealthy league in the world. Why wouldn't you?
And if you can get picked up for, what did Stark go for this year? 2.1 million or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exceptional money.
Yeah.
And a Yorker from Little, that's very well bowled. It's pretty well played by Curtin to just get his bat down on that and squirt it out into the leg side for a single. Canada now 118 for 4 with one ball left over to go.
My score prediction was well off. I thought the wickets were going to tumble.
You are going to.
What was your score prediction?
I went under 127.5.
It could still happen. You only need one wicket, and you never know.
Well, yeah, but even then, I think.
But it's not looking good.
I think they'd scraped together 9 runs. Maybe I think I got 127.5. They need 10 runs.
Last ball, and that's a slower ball by Little, and that's hewed out off the top edge of a cut into the offside. Just a single. That's the end of the 17th over, and Canada 119 for 4, and Curtin is advancing on his half century.
Right, I'm going to try again. Hombra Novo. No, I still can't get it. I only said almost, Annie. I didn't realise how that read. Sorry, it was extra special high on top of the general Gorillas greeting. As you said, no one wanted to talk to you. All meant in a good way. All right, I thank you very much.
And as we're looking at the
wow,
the actual Manhattan,
yeah, it's just
rather
weird,
than
isn't it?
cricket Manhattan, which is not that far away, I have to say. In Nassau County, we're just onto Long Island. Adair is going to come into bowl now. He's bowled 2 very parsimonious overs just for 7 runs at the top of the innings.
Top bowler, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got plenty of experience as well.
Yeah, he gets the ball to swing. He knows what he wants to do. Come back a bit as well. That's a sort of number 8. That's on off stump. And that's smashed up to mid off, and a very quick single is taken by Mother.
He'd given up there. If that hit, he'd have been out.
Yeah.
That looked. He hit it too well to the fielder and just ran anyway. But it's that time of the innings. You've got to take chances now and hope for the miss. And he would have been out by 3 yards.
Yeah. Should have dived, shouldn't he?
I don't think a dive would have saved him there.
Really long dive. Mark Adair, he learned all he knows from his time at Warwickshire. You know that?
No.
What? Yes. Adair continues. That's a better ball. That's just outside off stump, and that's just gently run down towards third man and deep backward point by Curtin.
Getting a bit close to your score, Bear.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, Annie. It's not going to happen.
What do you reckon the score will be? I reckon 140.
140 to 145. They could get to 150, but they need something special.
Got to see who's going to bat still. And that's shorter by Adair. That's over Sterling at backward point, and they're going to get 2 for that. But Mother quick across the ground when he wants to be. He's got back for 2 there.
Yeah, I think Mark Adair will keep the run rate down a little bit, so he's got another one, hasn't he? So
yeah,
I worry that who's going to bowl at the other end.
Yes, that's true.
After the last over from the other end, he went for 17. And a bit of movement in the crease, and that has absolutely no effect, apart from to give up for Adair to slam it into the deck, and it sails over the batsman, and that's a wide for height.
Indeed.
Put him off, didn't he, a bit?
Wide. A little bit. That's just too short.
Yeah, I always find that a bit counterproductive, because as well as you're trying to put the bowler off, but you're putting yourself off at the same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a slower ball, and that's gone nowhere. He's tried the reverse Joe Root scoop there, and I think he's inside edged it onto himself, and it's gone about 3 yards away, but they've run a single anyway because no one's anywhere close to stop them.
Again, he did it as the bowler was coming in.
Yeah, I think Jason's right. I think if you do that, you're not in a position to hit anything. I guess if the bowler then bowls it into the place you're trying to get to by mistake, you're set.
Yeah.
But other than that, you've got to adjust it pretty quickly.
That's why, running down the wicket I find counterproductive as well, unless it's a really slow bowler. Adair in for the 5th ball of this over. Round the wicket to him, and that's a good Yorker, but that's well dug out by Curtin. It's only a single though, as he bunts that up to a deep mid-on, right on the 30-metre line.
Have they got your total now, Bear? Was it 126 or 100?
Well,
128 puts me out of the game.
Okay, right.
So yeah, they're up to it, and this is the last ball of the over. He's tried it again, and he's failed again with that kick the leg out and try and flick it over his shoulder. Movra is annoyed with himself. Adair is very happy. That's the end of his over. Expensive over him. He went for 7. He's now 1 for 14.
Not as practiced as some other people.
Well, he's still, all the parts are moving still.
Yeah.
When you see Butler do that, he's got a good base and he's still when he flicks it over his shoulder.
Yep.
Movra was still on the move.
Position really early.
Movra was still on the move.
Yeah. I have a tweet from Hombrenevo again. He's missed most of this so far. Is this pitch bowling as dangerously as it did the other day? No.
No, definitely not.
There's something in it if you're prepared to bend your back, but other than that, it's not had that much sideways movement.
No, certainly not as much as the last few games.
And it's not had that much variable bounce.
No.
So
it's not stopping as much.
This is by far the best pitch they've had in this tournament at this venue.
Yeah.
Pirate Badshaw says the Bears' betting isn't attuned to Ireland's ability to fail to press home on an advantage.
McCarthy within, bowled the penultimate over. And that's on the stumps, but that's carved away to the offside square. But it's only a single, and Curtin creeps towards his 50. He's now 49.
Bear, you need to get more attuned to Ireland's ability to flake out or
fuck it up, I think is what he means. England are good at it too, don't you worry.
Most teams are, apart from Australia.
Yes.
And this is a very odd 6-3 field with 6 on the offside for Movra. That's worked out to the man at backward point on the 30-yard line, and it's an easy single. And there could be some time penalties here. They are 1 over behind according to the timekeepers.
Ooh, need to get a move on.
Yep, they need to finish starting their first ball of the last over by the time period, which I think is an hour and 20 minutes. I think I remember from the playing conditions. McCarthy in for the 3rd ball. That's across Curtin, and Curtin tries to get the bat on that, but he's too late. He's a bit late on the shot. And that's through to Tucker.
A much needed dot, especially for Bear.
Yeah, it's not. I'm out.
Oh, you're out already.
Yeah,
right.
It's 127 and a half.
And they've got 4 overs to bowl these remaining 3 balls in this over and the first ball of the next over.
They should be able to do that. Oh, well, as long as it doesn't get hit out of the ground. I mean, he's done well. They've got partnership together, and that's how you get a big score in a T20, or for Canada on this wicket, maybe a big score is 140. If they get to 140, maybe 150.
Short. Is he going to get his 50?
Oh,
he's not. That's short. He's tried to scoop it over the short fine leg, but he's only gone straight up in the air, and Barberni has run around, nearly collided with the keeper.
I think who's the keeper?
Tucker.
Tucker just pulled out a catch in that right at the last minute.
Yeah,
and I
'cause
think
you'd expect the keeper to go.
Balbirnie thought he was going to. It was a really good reaction to actually end up picking it up, because I really think he thought Tucker was going to do it, and then he realised he wasn't, and fortunately he was tracking the ball still.
Yeah.
He managed to grab it. It's a good catch in the end, but it was unnecessary.
I think you're absolutely right, Barry. You expect the keeper to go for it, and obviously Balbirnie was thinking that, and so he caught it really low, didn't he?
Yeah, I think they need to speak to each other and go, someone cool.
Mine.
Yes.
Well, I think the response to that is going to be thank F for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, curtain goes. He got 49 off just over 30 balls. Very well batted. He's been the linchpin of this innings, and it brings another man to the crease who's got his work to do for 8 balls.
Dylan Hayliger.
Yep.
Dylan, you're a tough man, hard man. You're gonna be at the World Cup 2. Dylan Heidegger, Dylan Heidegger, Dylan Heidegger, Dylan Heidegger, Dylan Heidegger.
Heidegger would be my choice, sir.
Guyana born.
24 innings and he's averaging 42, but he's only got 299 runs. I don't know how that's going. Anyway, that ball is short by McCarthy to welcome him to the crease. He tries to swap that over square leg.
He's a finisher, and he probably has a few not-outs.
Yeah, I imagine he has a fair few not-outs.
Must have.
He doesn't get anywhere near that one. Just watching that ball, that's a good short ball by McCarthy, but he did get in an awful position to play it right next to his face.
I mean, I can understand why the keeper let Balbirnie have it, because he's catching it over his shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
his
but
arm's
you've
going
got to make that call early, and it doesn't seem there was a bit of a miscommunication between
Definitely.
the two fielders there.
Bear, can you let Al in, please?
Oh yeah,
and that's the finisher shot, and that's the finisher result. He's spooned that straight up to long on for a 2-ball duck.
Well,
this is what they needed.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
After I've got over my bloody run score, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a maiden the last over.
Yeah, exactly, and I'll lose by half a run.
That's the end of the 19th over, and Canada 128 for 6 now.
We have a tweet from Farong who says, regardless of the final score, runs on the board. Another super over, perhaps. And he says, no, Tony. He must be off to the Oval for Surrey versus Sussex, is he? Do we know?
I think not. I think he's looking He's looking after Vivian because she's not well.
God.
Oh.
She's got the flu or something.
Oh no.
Anyway,
he'll be watching it on the TV, I should think.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
So brings down another batsman to the crease who will jingle up whilst we're waiting for the last over.
Another left-hander, isn't it?
Yep. So much for your left-hander theory.
Well, no, I said there was another one.
It seems that Canada's on the right, Zappa's eyes are on the prize.
Is Canada a cricket country anyway?
And that's a nice Yorker by Adair, but it's dug out by Zafar.
That's I like that mug.
Yeah, I was going to say, was that a mog?
That's a mug, definitely. From South, that's Save Canada, isn't it? Save Canada. From South Park.
Oh right, is that where it's from?
Yeah, before they kill Kennedy, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Hayliger stuck between a rock and a hard place, really. He had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. It's the last. He's got one over to go. He just got to sacrifice your wickets. Everything's got to be tried to be hitting out the ground. You've got 5 balls left now, and you've got 4 wickets.
Yeah,
so every ball has to be swung
right.
at.
It's why T20 is such a rubbish game for middle order batsmen.
Yeah.
Adair ran the wicket to Zafar, who just works that down to Sterlo at point.
Which is probably why, actually, in the end, you get such more disjointed games now, thrashings, because if everyone's got hit out, if it all goes horribly wrong, everyone's out for fucking
You get collapses where you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Exactly. Because no one plays any circles.
It takes out the finesse.
Yeah, there's no circles. But then some people would say, well, it's only 20 overs. You've got 10 wickets. You can afford to lose one every 2 overs. So if everyone can hit a ball, blah blah blah. But actually, it turns out we don't want that person trying to hit a ball until after 16 overs.
Over the wicket to Mova. That's right on the line. Is that going to be a wide?
No.
No. Ooh.
It's clever.
Harsh,
But yeah.
Good bowling, but really right up to the limit there. I don't think Mother helped himself by stepping away very slightly to leg.
No, well, he's been doing that though, hasn't he?
So Canada not making the most of their opportunities in this over, and that's swatted with a baseball shot over extra cover.
Good shot. Strange.
One bounce just inside the boundary for 4 runs by Mulver.
It's quite unorthodox, but it gets the job done.
On the floor, and one more fall than the four before. That's what fours are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
Oh, it's taking them.
Where was Mother born?
Oh, Mother. India, but it didn't say where, so yeah.
2 balls to go, and Mother
he's not
chips that up, but that's over the man. They should get 2 for that, and they do. Just hit with bottom hand, but no real power really.
No, he didn't get any timing in it. But they've got what 8 off this over.
Yeah, it's getting them up to that 140 mark.
Yeah, if they get 4 off the last ball, they get 140.
If they get 6, they get 142. It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing this. The ability to count. It's fucking fantastic.
Adair, last ball in the innings, we think, and again that's chipped up, but there's nobody there because the man has gone back now, and if they get 2, he's going to run out by miles. Mother.
Well, you got to run.
Yep.
But no, you got to go.
We'll get 1 run for that, so they'll end up on 137.
Yes.
For 6 after 20 overs, which is not a bad score.
Yeah, they were on for more than that, though, weren't they?
They
Those
were,
last
but I
few
think
overs.
they were also 35, 40 for 3 after 6 overs, so I think they'd have probably taken 140 at that point.
Yeah, good innings by Curtin and Mother as well, put on most of the runs.
Yeah, and like Farong says, it's runs on the board.
It is runs on the board, on a wicket that has been, tricky. It hasn't looked as tricky today, but Ireland will have bad memories of it from just the other day. So
yes, well, that's the thing. Canada, they got.
Well, but Bernie's at top of the order. He never scores any runs when I'm watching. I don't think he's ever scored a run when I've watched him. He always usually gets out for a duck.
Does Sterling?
He doesn't often. Well, occasionally, but not often when I'm watching. To be fair.
Oh, but isn't it fun when he does?
Yeah, it's fun when he does, but he doesn't do it enough when I'm watching.
He's Ireland's most experienced player, and if he gets, I say, 45 on this, they probably should win.
Yeah, because he'll get them quick as well if he gets 45. I mean, that's the good thing about him. When he gets going, he's fun to watch, and he does go out of pace. Just doesn't get going enough. And then Balbirnie, I'm definitely going under for the fall of the first Irish wicket.
And the middle order, the pharmacist, Tucker, Tector, and Camphor.
Yes, they are. They are. It's a good middle order these days,
Camphor is underrated, and I think Tector is underrated.
Yeah, they're very good bats. They both got test tons now, didn't they? Get them
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, when they were down in New Zealand or in Bangladesh or something.
Yeah.
They are. They're pretty solid in that middle order.
None of them did particularly well in the last game, though.
No, no one did. I mean,
they were all out.
They were facing up India on a spicy deck.
Yeah, they really were.
And they got done a lot of the times.
Whereas Canada got nearly 200 in their last game, so...
Yeah, as someone said, I thought that was at this ground, but that wasn't. It was at Dallas, which is a lot more placid.
Yeah.
This particular venue has been pretty low scoring, so if the pitch is better today and it doesn't look as spicy as it has been, then maybe 140 is...
not bad. They didn't get 140 there.
Well, 136. Yeah, all right, 137 actually. Then, could be a decent total.
Yeah, we're just watching Nicholas Curtin doing the obligatory mid-game interview now for his 49 off 35.
I know, poor thing. I mean, don't they just want to go and have a little sit down?
They want an energy drink.
Yeah. No, you got to do it. It's an ICC tournament.
I suppose at least you don't have the mics while they're playing as well. So.
Yeah, well, we're going to play
a very brief bit of
podcast.
Is it Gargear out again?
Yeah, I can't. It's only on for like 5 minutes or something. It's not enough to play any. We're not a TV company with nice little
Are we not?
with 5 little 5-minute stings about something interesting. Yeah. And we don't do enough content. We just do a lot of live shit. Anyway, here we go. Back to Gargi Route again.
And
towards the end, that have no meaning whatsoever, and that's what I mean about will the Indian public ever get bored of it? You say no, but I mean, it just goes on forever.
I'm bored.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You said that. Yeah, it's your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more concerning for me because it's my job, like you said. But yes, it's just way too long at this point. But IPL is a business. See, I spoke to John T. Rhodes for an interview. My show is launching actually. It's all about mental health, but he just said that the IPL is business, and it is. So you have to. I think BCCI is only thinking about money at this point and the teams, which is okay, fair enough. You get to earn a lot, we don't. But anyway. Having the IPL so close to the World Cup, I think it's very debatable. It's outrageous at this point because in the last T20 World Cup as well, I remember there was a few days gap between the final and the World Cup, and I think Rohit Sharma was Rohit Sharma? Was it CSK versus MI? Yes, Rohit Sharma was playing, the captain. So I don't know. I don't understand.
I mean, that's an obvious question. I can understand why Australia didn't pull players out from the IPL because it's winter in Australia, so they probably don't get to practice at home anyway, so you might as well play at home. I mean, on this issue with Joss, I'm not really that fussed whether you're playing. It's T20. I don't care whether you're playing in the IPL
tonight anyway because he's for birth of his third child. So
well, exactly. But he said he was going to
one of 3 so far.
Well, he said he was going to miss the beginning of the World Cup if his child came along as well. So I mean, that's obviously very important to him, and that's fair enough. Yeah. But I mean, I don't care whether if you're playing T20 and he's a power hitter, right? So whether he's playing in India or in England, I'm not really that fussed. Team gelling, they've all played together. I'm not sure I really go with this argument. Plus, we're playing in England, then we're going to go to America where we don't know what the pitch is like, and we're going to go to the West Indies where they're probably going to be reasonably slow and low because they have been recently. How much does it help? It certainly didn't help in the 50-over World Cup, but in the T20 I think it's less important because of the nature of the game. But yeah, I mean, are the Indian players going to be jaded? I mean, they've just spent 10 weeks on a total over and over again, day after day on the treadmill, T20, all this thing, as you say, and then they've got to go away. Do they take their families with them? Are they just feeling, God, I've had enough of T20, I've just been playing it for 10 weeks and I'm going to go out and now I've got another big tournament with loads of pressure? I mean, is there a sense of that in India?
I think so, yes. I mean, you'd have to be a superhuman to not feel jaded after a 2-month-long tournament that did fill your bank accounts, but is it helping in the national cause? Is it going to do you any good in the World Cup? Because if you come up with an injury, if you're injured, suppose you were playing a match in the IPL, the World Cup starts 10 days after the IPL ends and you're injured in the IPL, what are you going to do? I think that's one of the biggest concerns because you don't even have time to get back from that. But at this point, I think only one player, Rinku Singh, who's a travelling reserve, so it doesn't matter anyway. A lot of Indian players got a lot of time to rest because all of the major teams were out before the playoffs. Yeah. When you talk about Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, majority of them were out. So this time around it's fine, but if they had played the final and if something had happened, maybe an injury or maybe workload management, then there would have been some, arguments about it. But I think it's
Australia, I think, they've got to warm up against Namibia and somebody else next week, but they've given time off to their IPL players. They're down to nine players that can play in a warm up, which I doubt they can do. So. I mean, they've got a problem because they've had so many players there. Should we just have a very quick little chat about the World Cup, the T20 World Cup, because that's fascinating. I mean, the first thing I think is really interesting is to look at the groups, which to me are kind of they're not a random selection. Let's put it that way. Just a reminder: Group A, Canada, India, Ireland, Pakistan, USA.
Yeah.
Goodness me, as if by magic, India and Pakistan appear to be in a group where they're
that's always
pretty
the case.
90% nailed on to get into the next stage. India, if they get to the semi-final, are guaranteed to be the second of the semi-finals, so they get a longer break as well. You sort of go, hang on, I do see a logic. Canada and the USA obviously being in the same group, of course, because that's going to help the host there. And Ireland, well, almost everybody in America claims somewhere to have some Irish ancestry. So, but surely you can only see that group going one way, can't you?
Yeah, I don't think there's been any ICC tournament where India and Pakistan are not in the same group.
Oh, well, it's the only time we ever get to play, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's that's true as well. But also because it attracts such a big crowd. And that's another madness, by the way, because no one understands. Actually, everyone understands why it happens, but India and Pakistan is such a huge thing for both Indians and Pakistanis. Everyone, I'll tell you what, every time there's an India-Pakistan match, it's always on a Sunday, so you make sure that everyone gets time to sit and watch the match. It's never on a working day. You have to think about these. These are commercials. This is serious business. So everything's playing in the direction of India-Pakistan. So you get maximum viewership, you get maximum madness. So it's quite interesting when you look at the groups this time. But when you look at Group A, USA, India, Pakistan, Canada, Ireland, I think India's automatically the favorite, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And we're back.
Hello.
Hi, Annie.
Hello, Al. We got.
Fancy meeting you here in the
Who else have we got? We got Messi.
Messi's coming.
Yay! Now I've got to do a bit of jingling, and
Messi is here.
I haven't done this for about 4 years, so you have to excuse me if I'm a bit slow.
We'll guide you through it.
Shall I do Balbirnie?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do him quickly.
Well not.
Here comes Andrew Balbirnie. He's a total hero. Here comes Andrew Balbirnie. He's the sweetest bat I know.
I've done that one.
And the other
I
opener.
love the in studio dancing, Annie.
Oh, good.
It's an added bonus.
The other opener puts me in mind of like a Clint Eastwood style gunslinger in a spaghetti western. It's
right. Well, I'll do him quickly.
Do him quickly.
Don't you be getting out. He won't be getting out. Who am I talking about? Oh, Sterling.
So, I hope for all Irish fans, bearers and watching Balbirnie bat, because apparently he always gets out cheaply. Or I'm assuming Bear's already gone under for the fall.
Yeah, he's not watching. He's not watching now, because that's what happens. Yeah.
Reverse psychology.
And I will jingle up the bowler after this first ball.
Delivery.
Yeah.
Balbirnie facing, Kaleem bowling. Across the right-handed batsman, tries to get that through point, and there's no run.
Here's Sana's jingle. I think that one might be a mog.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
So, left arm, fast medium probably.
Yes.
Ireland's target is 138. But that's going to take some getting at this pitch. This is wide, going wider across Balbirnie. I'll be surprised if that's not a wide. It is a wide.
I'm not going to do wides, okay? Just saying.
Okay.
It's just too much. I'm only just getting used to the
It's a good job you're not an umpire. I don't do wide.
I don't do wide, sorry. You just have to, have to go.
You want the effort of me putting both on?
I only do no balls.
Well, you you would have denied USA that win yesterday.
I would have. Oh God, yeah.
Final over.
This is going to be another wide, as
It
it was
is.
even wider than the ball before.
It's really tempting me to try and do a jingle, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
It's your own time
Yeah,
to waste.
yeah, absolutely. Well, how very nice to see you both.
Good to see you too.
Shame you're not here in the studio like me.
Well, I did have to work today.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I didn't.
Well, I do. If it's any consolation, I do feel immediately like I've let you down a little bit.
Yeah, it would have been nice to see you. We were also at the quiz last night, which was lots of fun.
Oh, we'll come to that in a second. As this one is on the money, and it lifts sharply, goes over the shoulder of Balberni's bat. You would have had to have been in the form of his life to have got a splinter of his bat onto that. That was a snorter of a delivery.
Yeah, there was a bit of discussion there about whether they take the DRS up, but it didn't look like there was any contact.
It didn't seem to, but it did seem to, on a good length, maybe slightly back of a length.
Possibly a shoulder might have got.
Yeah, I think it just brushed his sleeve, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if they apparently used the heavy roller on this for hours and hours and hours to try and flatten out the pitch. I'm wondering if that's starting to wear off a bit under the sun.
Dear goodness gracious
Whoa.
me, a Palmerson-esque wide has gone straight to first slip. The wicketkeeper never stood a chance.
My goodness
My
me.
God. To
That should
the
be-
wide
that should be-
side of first slip too, Alan. It should be.
Yeah,
mentioned.
that couldn't have maybe almost went to second slip. That was.
Yeah.
I
Dear
mean,
me.
that really deserves a jingle, doesn't it?
Well, it's almost so wide it deserves to be counted for two.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you're sounding a bit like KP now.
No, I'm just,
No, he doesn't.
our fielders outside the circle are at deep square leg and third man, and this one has been punched through covers. If you're watching Bear, that's Balberni getting runs off the bat. That's when the
Yeah,
first
he's
one
not
was able
looking
to
on
hit, to
purpose.
be
I
fair.
think he's.
That I think is the lesser spotted all run through.
Yeah. Well, it happens on these big pitches, doesn't it?
I was going to say, did
especially
happen in the IPL.
Yeah,
Well-
but, I mean, this outfield is also very slow, so it makes it so much more interesting.
It does, doesn't it? I absolutely agree. Not that I watched any of the IPL to know, but I'm not actually a fan of short boundaries at all.
No.
I like a good field boundary, with long grass.
Well, the boundaries here are definitely long. Americans like to do things big when they build them.
They
so
do.
build-
Yeah.
Oh well, build it as big as the MCG.
Yep, they don't do anything small.
The score is 6 for no wicket. 3 of those off the bat, 3 wides. As Kaleem is going around the wicket to Sterling. That one's played to mid-on, no run.
I think Ireland's last match, 15 was the extras, and I think that was the second highest or the third highest score. So, in their innings last time, so it's possible it could happen again.
Quite possibly.
Well, I mean, the Indian bowling attack wasn't like the Canadian bowling
No.
attack. It must be.
It's a little bit different.
A slightly charitable statement from there, just as Kaleem is in again. This one wide outside the off stump. Sterling throws the bat at it. If he'd have thrown his foot at it as well, he probably would have reached it with a bit more of the chance of being able to get through the covers. No run though.
I'm very grateful they haven't done any boundaries yet. It's good for me.
Is it really, really hard work doing jingles?
No, it's really not at all. It couldn't be simpler, but it's it's stressful. It's stressful being in control of this thing.
Yeah. Annie is effectively in charge of user experience.
I am,
At this
I am.
particular moment. This one again wide, flashed at by Sterling.
Oh my
Between
God, it's a boundary.
backward point and Annie J. The world is watching and listening, and it goes for 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, what jingling! That's
first rate jingling.
Yep, I went for Mog straight away.
Yeah, that's 10 off the over, and it's the end of that over. Eventually,
That was quite a long
9 balls
over.
in it.
It was quite a long over.
Just the 9 balls.
Josh Cooper says, in seriousness, I hope winning the toss doesn't become a shortcut to winning matches like it was in the UAE a few years back.
I totally agree.
There's been a bit of that, certainly. Kieran Roseblade says both the Irish fans are happy the bear has gone for a sandwich so that runs could be made by Balbirnie and Sterling. Barrett Bedrell says lock the doors. Kieran says they've been locked since the canvassing started. And ridiculously, I've only had 2 canvassers, says Barrett Bedrell. If Annie isn't playing any wide jingles, should we make her sing them instead?
Oh no, you really don't want me to.
You're singing it, Annie.
You really don't want me to.
It's going to be Gordon who's going to come in to bowl the second over. This ball rears up at Balbirnie, takes him on the knuckles.
I'm going to jingle Gordon now. Okay.
Leg bar.
I'm just going to jingle him now.
A man died when he insulted Jeremy Gordon. He should have known. Jeremy doesn't take shit.
That's a good jingle, that one.
I didn't hear much of it, but well done, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You see, you're overcoming the stress as you do it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Natural.
But easing our way into it as Gordon comes in again. This one is outside the off stump, slightly back of the length. Sterling will claim that he didn't play a shot at that, but he's nibbled at that, and it's gone through.
It lifted again, though, didn't it?
It really did, didn't it?
Yeah, it's slightly back of the length seems to be an area that's going to cause problems.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
It has in the whole of the. Well, talking of the Canada innings, what did you two feel about their score?
I think for this pitch, it might be a slightly over par score.
Oh,
that's a wide, going wider. Bounces twice before it hits the keeper. And it did just hit the keeper. Mother didn't. Is having all sorts of hassle.
They haven't got their radar quite right at the moment, have they?
Yeah. There's always talk of a 4th stump line, but this is more of a 4th wicket line.
Yeah.
It's not been too accurate so far. This one is shaping away. Kind of your stock ball that you'd see in Test cricket in terms of width outside the off stump. Sterling leaves it alone through to the keeper. 12 for no
One of the
wicket.
things that's become apparent in this World Cup is the need to preserve wickets as much as possible during power play and not be so worried about scoring runs then, because it seems to get considerably easier as the ball edges.
This one is played slightly uppishly outside the off stump by Sterling. It'll go down to third man, one of the 2 fielders outside the circle, and Sterling will take a single, moving him on to 5.
Yeah, this is a not exactly blistering start from Ireland, but it's a safe start.
Well, although I didn't watch much of the IPL, I kind of kept my hand in about what was going on, and some of the IPL power play scores were bonkers. As Gordon is in again, but slightly back of the length, Balbirnie defends. So the idea of going from scores of like 90, 100, 110 for no wicket to things like 30 for 3 is a bit weird.
Do you think that it will because most of the Indian team will have obviously played in the IPL, do you think it will be detrimental to them? Well, that's flummoxed you, hasn't it?
No, I'm trying to think of the right word. Hopefully a slower ball by Gordon will not. Yes, I mean 79.8 might be the stock speedy bowl, but that looked like it barely made it to Balbirnie. It's come off the edge of the bat and been fielded at first slip. He bounced before he got there. The reason I kind of puffed and puffed is because I think it's going to be. I think the short answer is nobody knows. And the long answer is everyone's going to make up their mind based on how the tournament goes. It is that if India do well or even win, then it's an open invitation for the IPL to go for 11 months of the year round. but if they don't do well, then irrespective of why they didn't do well, the IPL may well be blamed.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Could be talking rubbish though. Kaleem's going to bowl third over. We'll get to your tweets in just a second. Sterling pushes the ball into the offside, thinks about a single, but Alburney is statuesque at the non-strikers, so no run. Who have we got with us, Jez?
Well, Ombre Nuevo has asked the question, what's the highest number of balls due to wides bowled in a T20 over? I can't track that down at the moment, but I can tell you the most wides in the T20 innings is 31 by Romania against Turkey in 2019.
Bloody hell, that is a lot.
Yeah. Kaleem is in again. Back of the length. Sterling looks to pull through mid-wicket, but only succeeds in getting it to mid-on. There'll be no run.
So that's nearly
a T20 to a T25.
Yeah, T20. It's nearly 6 overs, isn't it? God.
Yeah. The most I can find with a recognised Test-playing nation is South Africa, 23 against the West Indies in Johannesburg in 2007.
Wonder why that was then. Do you think it was just one player?
May well be. I'll have a look at the match.
That is a tempter. Slightly fuller of length outside the off stump, and Sterling, with his usual lack of footwork, just attempts to put his considerable weight through the ball and misses.
Yeah, they're not getting bat on ball at the moment much, are they?
Yeah. I think they're being absolutely surprised by the ball that's bowled straight.
Yes. That's the clever thing about wides, isn't it? It does throw you somewhat.
Like, ha-ha! So 3 dot balls for the start of this third over, keeping the score at 13. Kaleem in again around the wicket, back of the length, forced or attempted to be forced to the offside field. But that sort of backward point area is pretty well stocked with Canadians. And they all get together for a group hug afterwards. Another dot ball.
When was the last time you were in the studio, Al?
Oh, years ago.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's weird being back. It's nice.
I haven't been there since the 2019 World Cup final.
No, I was going to say I missed you then.
You have slightly more of an excuse than I. Slightly fuller of length, an attempted drive. Does it get through the field? Yes. Will it get to the boundary sponge by mid-off? No. 2 Canadians converge. One nearly rips the face off the other one with a throw.
And another 3.
And another.
Yeah. This is Paul Sterling's fitness regime.
Yes, keeps him going.
Lots of threes.
We ought to really have a jingle for 3s because they're most, they're the ones that are least played, aren't they?
Yeah,
indeed.
You wait years for one, and then 2 come along.
I know.
Last ball of the third over. Islander 16 for no wicket. And that's wide of off stump. Played a missed that ball by Alburney. Easy for me to say. And I wondered whether there was an edge because the ball did kind of straighten off the hit, and then it was dropped by the keeper. So we'll never know.
Indeed.
Furlong
says.
Sorry, Jess.
Furlong says no wide jingle. How about Annie just reassembles the wide jingles with octave differentiation? Go for
Look,
it.
if people really want a wide jingle, I will do a wide jingle. But I'd have done an awful lot if I had.
Is it going to require someone to do a super chat for you to play the wide jingle?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
How big a super chat are we talking about?
A huge one.
Gordon in for the first ball of the fourth over. Little dab into the offside field and a nicely sharply taken single. Keeps the strike rotating. Sterling's on 9 now, score 17 but no wicket.
Yeah, it's a very, very steady start from Ireland here, isn't it? I think they are proving what Messi was saying about not wanting to lose wickets.
It feels like that's been the approach so far.
I have some shocking news.
Shocking news.
Gordon in. Yes. Wide outside the off stump. Balbirnie splashes at a wide one, but makes no contact. Yes.
My anchor has paid $199 for his ticket at the game today. Says if the price gouging wasn't bad enough, a 20-ounce bottle of Coke, small wrinkly hot dog, and 3 chicken tenders with a few fries costs $35.60.
How much is that in proper money?
It's nearly 40 quid.
Short, pulled away through square leg by Balbirnie.
My God!
Yeah. Deep square leg fielder will throw that in and threaten the ankles of Gordon, who's trying to back up at the bowler's end.
I mean, it just shows what cricket seems to be all about at the moment, isn't it? Money. Yeah. How much money can we get from punters? You know, it's shocking.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be.
That is absolutely right, Messi.
It's more like 30 quid.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Short ball, very straight from Gordon. It's just defended. Ball seemed to lob up ever so slightly. So as a short fielder in, would have been an easy catch, but there isn't, so there wasn't.
We're supposed to be growing the game, making it more diverse, and instead you're just encouraging people who have got money to come into the ground and spend more money.
Yeah. That's capitalism, baby.
Well, it's taken over the world.
Well,
tell me about it.
Yes, it has. As Gordon comes in, we're just outside the off stump, played down to third man. Balbirnie will take a single, and with one ball left,
I did exaggerate.
You did exaggerate.
I did exaggerate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mike's corrected me. He said my ticket was only $60 today, Messi. Even the ICC knew they wouldn't make $199 worth for a game like this.
Okay, but still a lot.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, exaggeration forms the basis for an awful lot of what goes on today.
Certainly does. Oh, good ball for the last ball of the over. Sterling defends.
I've told you a million times not to exaggerate.
Jez, over to you at the end of 4 overs, 20 for no wicket.
Umbreno Over comes up with an almost unanswerable question. Second question, has there been a World Cup game with at least one wide in every over? Actually, no, I can answer that one because there hasn't been a T20 international other than the one between West Indies and South Africa that's had more than 20 wides conceded in actual wide balls.
Oh.
So the answer is no. Varong says 23 wides by the Saffers, eh? Cronje not involved, or a handsy testimonial perhaps? Well, I can tell you, actually, it was the West Indies that bowled 23 wides.
Oh,
the
my.
Saffers only bowled 12, so... You know.
Well, that says something. We've got a change in the bowling.
Oh, goodness me.
I'm going to give you... it's Junaid Siddiqui.
Yeah, I've just got to find him.
Yeah, okay, you find him while I talk about this first ball, or he backs out right at the last minute. Thinks better about himself. He's not going to bowl without a jingle, Annie.
I found him. Shall I play it now?
What you trying to do?
Lifting down the side, attempted scoop by Balbirnie. No run.
Sorry, it was quite a long jingle.
Don't worry about it. We'll talk over it.
Yeah.
Once you press the button for it to go, you're not really in control of it.
I don't think I'm in control anyway, to tell you the truth, Al.
Well, that's as maybe. That one, again, drifting down the leg side. Junaid's gone up for an appeal. It's going to go all the way to the pine leg boundary. What's the umpire going to
It's going to be a leg by, isn't it? No, he didn't signal it out.
He moved as if he was going to start tapping his leg, but the upshot is 2 runs off the bat.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to appeal that then.
Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, I think it did come off the bat.
Certainly felt like it. This next ball pitched up attempted to be hit through the gap between cover and extra cover. Fielded there for no run. They're very much into positive reinforcement, aren't they, the Canadian fielders?
They're what, sorry?
They're into positive reinforcement.
Yes.
If any one of them stops the ball, hey, you did a really good job. This one, shorter. Flicked past the fielder at the short 45, but he's down massive. Oh, hello. An eventual field by
He's laughing himself. That was about 5 times he tried to pick up that ball.
He sees the eventual funny side of it. It's just like, where's the ball? The ball seemed stuck to his heel, and as he tried to move, he just kept kicking it further away from himself. 24 for no wicket, 4 balls into the 5th over. This one played straight down the ground by Balburn, who is very much profiting from the Bears' sandwich. Played down to long off. He'll take a single. He's on 12.
Yeah, Bear's taking a good earned rest from the studio at the moment, so he's probably fallen asleep.
If there are any Irish fans who want to pay for Bear to stay away for the whole 20 overs,
no, because that means I have to stay, and I can't because I've got to go and get a train after this.
You've got to go get a train. Sterling comes down the pitch, tries to beat mid-off, but he can't and find it with laser-like accuracy. 5 overs gone, 25 for no wicket, chasing 138 for victory.
On ticket prices, Mayank says, tell Annie, India versus Pakistan is $700 for the peanut gallery and $2,500 for the hospitality.
Oh,
and that's
my
starting prices.
Oh my god! What? So they get the average guy come in then, and the average child, and the average woman.
That's like Olympic prices, isn't it?
Outrageous.
Pirate
really.
Badger says confidence level 1001, falling more slowly. 1001, isn't that what cleans a big carpet for less than half a crown?
Something like that. Gordon in for his 3rd over.
What are you talking about, Messi?
Advertising in the 60s.
Oh right, okay.
There was a carpet cleaner called 1001.
Was there? I'm far too young for that.
I'm sure there still is.
Is there?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
But I bet it doesn't clean a big carpet for less than half a crown anymore.
Well, if you're still playing,
you don't even know what half a crown is, do you, Annie?
A big swing and a miss by Sterling to a straightish delivery, goes somewhere between bat and shoulder.
Yeah, he's not really getting his. The timing isn't quite right with Sterling at the moment.
Yeah. See, you can talk about, we need to preserve wickets, but it's not really in the oeuvre, is it, of Paul Sterling to...
Yeah.
But they've got plenty of time at the moment. It's a long way to go.
Okay.
They're wobbling along.
The Bear bribes are coming in. Pirate Badger sent €2.
€2. Well, we'll pass that on.
Well, you can pass it on, but I'm not staying, so someone's got to do it.
That 3rd delivery was slightly back of the leg. Missed cut. Really wasn't there to be cut by Sterling through to the keeper.
Well, Jason can come back and do it, can't he?
Jason's gone, unfortunately. He's gone. Oh. He's gone to see the real cricket at Surrey and Sussex.
Top edged by Sterling, it has gone a long way up into the Nassau County sky, and it's been safely pouched by the keeper. Sterling has to go, and the first Irish wicket falls.
Oh right, that's
26.
That's like that's something. Oh, wickets. Yep, I got it right.
You silly little boy! What on earth were you playing at? No.
You could see that coming, couldn't you?
Yeah. I think Bear must have woken up.
That went a long way.
Yep.
Yep, caught by the wicketkeeper. He does look a bit fed up. He's been playing sensibly. Well, he's not been scoring.
Well, I don't think it's the sort of wicket that Paul Sterling thrives on, to be honest.
No.
He likes the pace in the wicket.
Caught Mother, bowled Gordon. 9 off 17 deliveries.
Yeah, it's not really a Sterling innings, is it?
And he had to run threes twice, which really
exhausted
puts
him.
him under considerable stress.
Shall we jingle up the new Irish batsman?
Yes, yes. I'm just finding him. I've got him.
Hey.
So it's Lorcan Tucker. So 26 for 1 isn't. It's not pulling up any trees, but it's not the worst start we've seen.
No. It's got many wickets in hand.
Many wickets in hand. Full delivery on middle and leg. Played to mid on. Probably not the sharpest of fielding by the Canadians at the edge of the circle, because the Irish were able to take a single there where no single seemed to be available, as we see a replay of that wicket to fall.
Well, he was very quick off the mark there, wasn't he?
That's who it is. Do you think Gordon's action reminds you of Devon Malcolm?
Oh.
Just watch him bowl as he comes in.
Yeah. Got similar
That's
shoulders.
The 6th over. That's wide. Oh, and that's been well timed. Flicked past. Short fine leg. And that's gone for 4.
He's got more neck than Devon Malcolm, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Muttley says half a crown in 1963 is £3.15 today. My
Goodness, really?
That's inflation for you.
Well, and that's how much you pay to have your carpet cleaned.
Well, to buy the stuff that.
Oh
clean
right.
The carpet, yeah.
Oh right. You don't even get someone coming in cleaning it for you.
You'd have to get a
well,
man in.
Not unless they come inside the bottle.
Let's leave that conversation where it lies.
Sorry about that. Oh dear. Dara Azizi says, compared with early Devon or late Devon? That's a good question, actually.
Early
Devon.
Yeah.
And Kieran Roseblake says, for the same price as one of those fancy tickets to India versus Pakistan, you could have membership at the WACA for 10 years.
God.
Wow. Junaid is coming into bowl, his 2nd over. Pushed down to long on, as we are now out of the power play. This is the 7th over. There's going to be a change at the end of this over.
Yes. Yes. Do we know
who?
who?
You got to go.
Yes, I've got to go. I've got to get a train back to Exeter.
Ooh, and that's been caught and bowled. Al Burney has just lobbed the easiest of chances straight back to Junaid, who accepts it with childlike glee on his birthday.
He's quite happy.
The bear must be awake. Balburney is gone. 32 for 2.
They're clearing the decks. They're clearing the decks before the bear comes back.
A snowfall toss is a guarantee that shit gets wicked, obviously. Shit gets wicked.
That was. It wasn't the worst of the see that, Annie.
Sorry.
It was a pretty rank shot.
Yeah. But it you know.
She just likes the jingle.
I just pressed a jingle and I didn't really read it, so sorry.
The thing at this point is it's my jingle machine and I'll play what I like.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Hello, Bear. Bear's come into the studio.
Well, Bernie's out.
Yeah, Bernie's out, and we got Tector in now.
Harry Tector,
Yeah.
Irish farmer.
So I'm going to jingle him up.
Junaid in. Defensive push that escapes mid-off. We'll go towards more longer off and they'll take a single and Tector is off the mark.
Tector and
Steph
Tucker.
asks a question for you, Mike. Is there any alcohol in the ground? I haven't seen any pictures of fans downing pints, etc. Is this because the grounds are dry, or it's $50 a pint?
Yeah, I was going to say,
Leather,
it's probably not very cheap, is it? I wonder if you're allowed to bring alcohol in.
Oh, you wouldn't be allowed to bring anything.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Junaid in. This one drifting full delivery, which is played back to the bowler. No run. You can't drink the official beer of the ICC World Cup if you bring your own beer in. That would be be cruel and unusual.
Vasco de Braccio says,
Yeah.
wait, are any of you all actually on Long Island? If so, I'm coming by with drinks and snacks. Well, Mayank is definitely in the ground.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like he could do with some snacks because it's costing quite a lot.
Fifth delivery, push down to long off for a single. As we see the replay of that gift of a wicket.
And the lovely Diana Patterson is with us. She says, my nephew in Florida said nobody's paying any attention. Had I not mentioned that the tournament was on, he wouldn't have known.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Last ball of this over, and our spell together is pushed towards deep mid-wicket. The Irish run well, and they'll take 2, which means that there's 5 off that over.
Well, that'll change if they win, won't it? If they win the whole thing.
Certainly will do.
Okay, well, I'll say goodbye to you guys and pass you over to Bear. Everyone will be pleased. Ireland fans won't be so pleased.
Thank
Lovely
you all.
to see you,
I'll
Annie.
catch you tomorrow morning, my time, for the New Zealand-Afghanistan game that we're covering from Melbourne. Good night.
Good night, Messi. Good night, Annie. Well, this is an interesting little game, isn't it, Al?
It's intriguing. It shows that it shows what parity can do. It can make a really exciting game, and you don't necessarily need 250 plays 240 in a T20 game for it to be exciting as well.
Oh no, absolutely not. I don't like games like this. I think games 140 to 160, which turn out to be tight, are what we really want to see.
Yep.
Anyway, it's Sad Zafar coming in. He's played out on the leg side. Fielder comes in off the fence. They just jog through for 1, which takes Tucker to 4. Brings Tector back on strike. One of the things that's keeping this game close, of course, is some fairly ordinary cricket from both sides.
Yes. I can't deny that.
I mean, Ireland are making a bit of a Horlicks of this, really, against some pretty friendly bowling. Here's Saad Zafar, and that's wide of the stumps. It's chopped beyond the wicket-keeper. Oh my goodness, they came back for 2. There's a big shout. They're going to have a look, I think. Yes, they are.
I think he just about got there, didn't he?
I think he did with the dive, but I mean, the shot wasn't terribly convincing.
The ball was terrible.
The ball was terrible. The shot wasn't very convincing. The wicket-keeper didn't do great. The fielder kind of slid on it, chucked it back in. Yep, he's
needs
gonna
arm
be
like
okay.
Mr. Tickle. He's just made it.
He's just made it. There you go. Oh my goodness, that was an illustration of pretty ordinary cricket, I think.
Yeah.
But there we are. Making for some entertainment, which is great. 39 for 2. 5 to Tector and 4 to Tucker.
Because the fielding area is so wide. It's such a big open space. But with a total like 138, you actually haven't got to go and give it 4 bifters. So if you can move the ball around, there's enough 1s and 2s.
Very much so.
That you can, if you're prepared to be a bit patient, you haven't really got to work too hard to try and.
Yeah, there's a lot of spaces out there, and the outfield is really quick, so it's not going out to the fielders on the fence. So if you take the weight off the shot and find the gap, they can quite easily get a 2.
However, I suspect Ireland will be thinking, because they got so badly thrashed by India, they need to improve their net run rate. Here's Zafar, and that's a decent ball, which is edged away. It's going to be retrieved by third man, who...
he's a big lad, isn't he?
turns round in instalments to throw it back in, I think we would have to say.
Yeah, it turns around like the big ship.
Yeah, like the G13.
Yes, the oil tanker. And they got back for 2. That was a decent delivery.
It was.
That was beautiful.
Found the outside edge. It
Bit of-
spun a little bit.
It did spin a little bit.
And, wasn't a convincing shot from Tector, who faces up again to Salzapper.
Oh.
And that's gone right the way through. Has it bowled him?
I think
It's
it
bowled
has.
him, I think. What a jaffer that is.
Oh my God! What
That's
the
not
fuck is
ordinary
going
cricket.
on here?
And
See you
Salzapper
later.
has taken the 3rd wicket. And Tector has gone.
Fuck off! Just fuck off!
I love the contradiction. Bye. See you later. If the ball before was a warning and Texas didn't see it.
No, he did not. Pitched and straightened. And clipped the top of offered middle.
That's a great ball.
Lovely, lovely delivery.
If you're
What a snorter.
it bet as our resident spin expert, if you're a left arm bowler bowling around the wicket, that's heaven, isn't it?
Yeah, that is. That's perfect.
Yeah,
Just
that
enough
was
turn to beat the bat.
On a sixpence, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was
Beautiful.
really good length as well because it's not a test
He
match.
looks so happy, like he's going to retire from international cricket immediately.
And now Ireland are in a spot of bother.
They are a little bit.
At 41 for 3.
New batsman at the crease. He's going to get a jingle. It's this man.
Now who's this coming on? Camphor waited. In South Africa he wasn't rated. In Ireland he is venerated. He worked hard so Camphor rated toil.
His jingle was played when I was on last time. He was bowling at the time. He's chopped this first one away. Square of the wicket for a single. 43 for 3. 42 for 3. I was ahead of the scoreboard, I think. But we're seeing the wicket again. That really is a snorter.
Yeah, he's got the perfect length.
To be fair to Tector, he could have got forward a bit quicker, but it was a snorter. That's played out on the leg side into the open space. One of the batters slipped, having ran a single. So they just took one.
I'd like to know what Ireland's record is against.
They've played 4 times, Bear.
Oh, is that all? Oh, in T20s?
They've won 2 each.
Well, there you go.
So it's pretty tight. As is this little soiree. 43 for 3 at the end of the 8th over.
You throw the form book out every time Canada play Ireland. That's what happened.
Well,
yeah, we're just seeing that Canada were 10 runs ahead at the equivalent stage. In fact, they'd lost 3 for 53.
And then they had a good partnership now as well between Curtin
yes,
and
they did.
Mother.
And so Ireland needs something very similar.
Yes.
From this pair, I would say. Well, here's the start of the next over. Batsman advances and plays it out on the leg side to Junaid's delivery. Goes through for a single.
See, Ireland went in with virtually all pace, didn't they? Apart from a couple of overs from Delaney, was it?
Yeah. Well, the Irish bowling was quite weird, really. I mean, McCarthy's first 2 overs were dross, and his last 2 overs were excellent.
Off and away.
Very strange stuff. Here's Junaid again. Well, this is quite loopy and sort of slapped back past him, but not timed. And it's just 1 to mid-off. 45 for 3.
43 miles an hour, that one.
Yes, it was very slow and loopy. That was. Camper has 2. Tucker's back on strike on 6. And faces up. And this is very slow as well. I think the batter had played about 4 shots by the time the ball arrived. He played it out square on the offside eventually. But, Canada are posing a few issues for Ireland's batters. Perhaps a few more than Ireland were expecting. Here's Junaid again, he's in, and again the batsman advances down the track. He plays it back to the bowler in the end, who shies at the stumps.
He's got to go through with it. He's got plenty of time to get to that ball. You've got to get there a little bit quicker and go through with a shot, mate.
Yeah, I was laughing because the shy at the stumps would have been called a wide.
Yes, it would. It wasn't very accurate.
Considering it was about 10 yards away, yeah.
that was back to ordinary cricket. Anyway, Junaid's in again, and this cramps Tucker a little bit for room. He just sort of stabs it back down the pitch. It's one ball of the 9th over to go then.
That was a quicker delivery. That was 57 miles an hour, wasn't it?
Fired in, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And cramped him up. He wasn't really expecting it either. He was waiting for another slow loopy one. Here's Junaid once more. Last ball of the over, just tucked off his pads into the open spaces, but they'll only get one. And at the end of 9 overs, it's 46 for 3.
Okay, so we've got some comments to catch up with on YouTube. Dara is easy, just bowl straight. You don't need movement at this level. Kieran Roseblade, Fex safe, wheels are coming off here. Obviously well-timed comments with the wicket that fell. Pirate Bradshaw, squally showers, 995 veering, rising slowly. Pirate Bradshaw, Ireland being taken part by spinners is traditional. Diane Patterson, come on Canada! And Pirate Bradshaw says, Kieran, the ship is listing. Not quite sinking, but listing.
Yep, they are having a little bit of a wobble. Here's Saad Zafar again. He's in, and oh my word, there's a big shout gone up there, and that's another wicket, I think. Oh, it's not been given.
Well, if they're that convinced, they've got to review, haven't they?
I think they were going up for LBW, weren't they?
See, this is.
He went to play a reverse, got in an awful tangle. He got very cramped up, and the ball looped up. But I think they're appealing for LBW.
I think this is where the rule needs changing for the appeal, for the DRS review, because I think the fielding team has to be specific about what they're appealing for, and that's what they'll review.
Well,
Whereas
no, not really. They're reviewing
they'll
for
cycle
out.
through everything.
Yeah, but what they should do as well, because if you're out, you're out. Let's have a look.
Look at this.
Wow. I think that might be umpire's call on impact, in which case he might get away with that. I don't think
that's tight.
It's not.
That is tight.
I'm not sure it's that tight. I think that's probably actually going to turn past the stumps and miss.
Yeah. So that's hit the pad first. It's hit the pad and not, because his gloves are very adjacent, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's outside the line.
Is there an issue of height as well?
I don't think.
I think it may be just outside the line, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't. It's outside, yeah.
Outside.
And it's straightening on as well. It's going further.
Well,
it's. I don't think height was an issue.
I still think he's a lucky boy.
Well, then, turns out they're not review. I thought they were going to cycle it through and review whether he'd hit it.
They did that first.
Did they?
Yeah, they decided.
That's what Snicko's for.
No, I mean after it hit the pad.
Oh, right.
It hit the gloves on the way through.
Here is Said Zafar again, and this is Fuller. And it's played out on the leg side to the man at mid-wicket outside the circle.
Someone's going to make a move here in this Irish side.
Did you go under for the fall of the wickets?
No, I went under for the fall of the first one, and it didn't happen. Balbirnie managed to get to 17. Which I wasn't expecting to happen.
47 for 3. Kent for now facing Saad Zafar. He backs away, and Saad Zafar follows him, and he can only play the ball straight to cover for no run.
Went too early there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and Zafar saw him and knew where he'd gone and just pursued him down the leg side. That was won by the bowler, that little battle. He's in again, and again he backs away, slaps this to cover, but cover makes a really good stop, fires the ball back in. Did the wicketkeeper take that, or did it sail over his head?
I think it sailed over his head.
It was pretty fiercely sort of thrown back in. piece of fielding initially. I think they got one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did get one.
The fielding is 80% of it is brilliant, but the throwing into the has been
Here's
ordinary.
Zaffer again. This is played away behind square. Another really good stop on the fence. Thrown back in, couple of runs. 50 comes up, but definitely saved 2 runs down there at long leg. Good piece of fielding. 50 for 3. 1 ball of the 10th to go. Just drifted a little bit down the leg
He
side.
took that
there.
off the stumps, didn't he? We missed that. That'd have been close.
Spooned around. Really good stop. He's in again. This is chopped away on the offside. They're going to run through.
Oh,
for
that's
that's
out.
close. That's out, surely.
That's got to be out.
Surely
direct hit.
that's out.
I think it's a direct hit, unless
I think it is.
if it is,
That's
well,
a
no,
direct
but the
hit,
stumps
and
are going the other way, didn't the? I think the bowler took the stumps, so I'm not sure that is out.
Well, let's have a look.
He kind of fell into the stumps, didn't he? Because they're
He's
completely.
definitely short of the ground when the stumps are broken. The question is, how were they broken? I don't think he fancies his chances. I think he's going. It was a risky run. Let's have a look. Bowler's got the ball in his hand and he's broken the stumps. That's out.
Oh, it is out. He just held on
That's
to it,
out.
didn't he? He didn't.
Yeah, it kind of bobbled, didn't it? He's got it in right in the edge of his fingers.
Yeah.
But he's made contact with the stumps with the ball in his hand. And that's another one down.
It's a run out.
He called me for a single and my stump shattered. Do don't run, 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 do don't run.
Oh! Did he have the ball in his hands?
I think that's what they're just looking at now. Cause
Oh yeah, I think
he's-
the ball got knocked out of his hands when it hit the stumps.
Yeah, that's out. 50 for 4 at the end of 10.
They're going down here. Well, you fucking idiots! Ireland, come on, man!
Yeah, I'm making the Horlicks of this. Tucker's
Oh,
gone.
really fucking this up.
Out for 10. Run out. No 4s, no 6s. 10 in 15 balls.
Who's next in? Delaney?
This is a mess. Yeah, I would have thought it would be Delaney.
Let's assume it is a Bama jingle.
They need someone with brain.
Gareth Delaney. Well, someone, equally someone needs to attack at the same time. Put something back on the bowlers.
Well, they need to. They certainly need to bat with some crust now.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada were 50 odd for 4 and got themselves to where they did. So
it's possible.
It's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable, but somebody needs to apply themselves a little bit. And
Yeah.
some of the bowling is pretty ordinary, to be honest. So if you can stay around for long enough and target somebody, you can get yourself in the game. But Ireland don't seem to have much of a game plan at the moment.
Yeah, the game's kind of waiting for someone to grab it by the scruff of the neck, isn't it? From an Irish perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give you a couple of comments on YouTube while you're waiting. Mayak, Ireland in trouble. They can't find the gaps. Dockrell and co have got a lot of work to do. Kieran Roseblade, I think we found our level here. We seem to be around 100 whether we play India on a pitch of death or Canada on a heavily rolled pitch of lesser death. Mayak, very heavy favourites now for Canada according to the betting application.
Well, yeah, that would sound fair enough, Al. I mean, the reason we've got a pause, of course, is because it's the halfway mark, so it's a drinks break. And Ireland need one. They need to get some messages out on the field to decide how they're going to approach it, I think.
Yeah.
Because they've
They need 87.
lost the plot. In fact, it's Dockrell that's come in rather than Delaney.
They need what, 83?
Yeah.
They need 80... No, they need 80...
88.
88.
88,
10.
sorry, yeah.
So nearly 9 and over with 4 down. They're 13 behind Canada at the equivalent stage.
They're still only 2-1 at the betting exchange. 5-2 on of Canada. 2-1 seems a bit
Well,
skinny.
here we go. Played away on the leg side for a single.
I think it's a new bowler, but I'm not sure who the bowler is.
Yes, I think that's right. It is a new bowler. Yeah, we're seeing a run out again. Where
It was absolutely straight to him. It's absolutely barking mad.
it was a suicidal run. It was suicidal. The Canadian fan in the crowd is waving goodbye.
Just dismissive hand wavy gestures.
On your bike, son, he said. Yes, it's Heiliger who's bowling, and it's played out on the offside. They scamper through for a single. That was quite tight as well. It's a 61% win predictor for Canada at this stage, 52 for 4.
Heiliger has, seems to have, might not have modelled his game on Dre Russell, but seems to have certainly modelled his body.
No, I think, yeah, a bit more sort of. I don't know.
Let's see if that's where the comparison ends. That's short and slapped away on the offside. Fielder comes off the boundary at cover.
I am saying it's just about physical appearance. I'm not mentioning the quality of game at all.
The prowess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The technical prowess. Yeah. Well, 19 for 3 Ireland made in overs 7 to 10.
Oh, John, you're doing commentary, aren't you, on the Euro?
Yes, I am. Wins Heiliger again, and this is a swing and a miss. Through to the keeper, no run.
What did you reckon to the announcement of the England squad?
Yeah, interesting. I think there were always rather a lot of attacking midfielders.
Yeah.
And I've always fancied that Southgate would take both Watkins and Ivan Toney. It's worth taking Ivan Toney purely from the point of fact that he never misses a penalty. Here's Heiliger. He's in again and bowls, and this is short, and it's hooked away.
Oh, that's a great catch.
That's a brilliant catch. What a catch that is! That's a stunner at long leg. Brilliant catch. And Ireland are right in the soup now.
They're really
3 for 5, and Camphor has gone for 4.
They are deep in the shit here.
That is Johnson's catch.
He had a fair way to go, didn't he, to get around, and he dived full length, and it was a catch that was dropping.
Didn't get hold of it properly. It's dropping in front of him. He's having to move round to his left.
And then to dive forward and get
catch.
2 hands to it as well.
Brilliant catch.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And then have the presence of mind to roll so it doesn't bounce out when your elbows hit the floor.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Tucked and rolled, took it about ankle high.
Superb catch.
Yeah, just even looking at it and analysing it, I can feel my hamstrings tightening.
Yeah, exactly. You're thinking, do I really want to do that?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's a tough one. 53 for 5 then. Nemesis Delaney is in.
Okay.
To join George Dockrell.
Let's have a jingle.
First one he just sways out the way of. Allows it through to the keeper. 53 for 5 off 11.
30 balls since the last boundary. That's 6 overs. 5 overs.
85 required from 9 now. Over 9 and over.
So, O. Harris, a low-scoring thrillers are wonderful. Kieran Roseblade, as much as I dislike Johnny B, I've taken him coming in at number 6 now. He must have some Irish in him. And then says, feck's sake, Pirate and myself will have to put on our pads at this rate. Dara Azizi, where are the boundaries coming from? George McPherson, what a capitulation from Ireland. 31 to 1 to 53 for 5. 4 to 22 is extremely disappointing.
The thing is, they just don't look like they know where to score either.
Yeah, and Pirate Bradshaw now goes low, Ireland 988, depressing rapidly.
This is cut away, square of the wicket. Fielder comes in off the boundary. That's Heiliger throwing it in. Just a single. We're seeing the catch again. I think he got it fairly high on the bat. It was dying in front of the fielder. It's a wonderful catch. Superb catch. Did really, really well. He's quite a big man, Johnson, as well.
He is.
In comes side Zaffer again, and that's just played out to cover point, no run. Yeah, you just can't see where the acceleration's going to come from here, can you?
No.
Here's side Zaffer. He's in and played off the pads, but no timing. Wicket-keeper goes off in pursuit. Throws it back in. It's just a single.
I think Ireland has got to stick in here and then try and get it down to 30 off the last 3 or something like that. Mind you, that's...
Yeah, exactly. But even that's going to be tough.
Yeah, maybe 40 off the last 3, and that's a tough ask. But
Side Zaffer, and this is driven. It's a better shot. It's only one though to mid off. 57 5. Kempfer won't be very impressed with that shot when he sees it again, really.
no, he's kind of clothed it.
In comes side Zaffer again. That's right on the stumps. Played out on the offside. No run. He just about jabbed down on that in time as well, because I think that was spinning back in. Side Zaffer's certainly bowled a really good spell here. He's in again to complete the 12th over. Played off the pads. Out to mid-wicket. I think they're going to keep it to 1. They are.
That is well fielded. Good fielding in the
well
deep.
fielded. 57 for 5 off 12 overs.
Dara Azizi said that North America is currently the mecca of cricket. With America yesterday.
Indeed. Yes, I was saying on commentary earlier that the game at Lord's was fairly tedious, but there was quite a shout of "Go USA" coming from the mound stand at Lord's, which seemed quite incongruous, really.
Just look at that flat lining of the
Yes.
of the graph that we can see in front of the showing.
Yeah, the worm.
Yeah.
The worm has gone completely flat.
Yeah. The worm has turned, and not for the better.
No.
No, it hasn't really turned, it's just gone on at a really lethargic rate, really.
Looks like Tories in an opinion poll. In comes Heiliger, and this is chopped away behind square. Down to third.
It looks to me.
Thrown back in, just a single.
They've got to try something a little bit different here. All the gaps seem to be on the leg side, and they keep still trying to chop it into the offside. Need to get inside the ball. I mean, look, there's only a guy at mid-wicket, and everyone else on the leg side is off on the outer.
Yeah, and the bowling's not exactly quick.
No,
so
you've got to try
you
and
could scamper across your stumps, couldn't
Yeah.
you? Someone's got to take a punt on something.
yeah.
Anyway, it's in again and bowls down the wicket. Swing of the bat. It's gone straight back past the bowler. It's only going to be a single though. There's a man out there. And this is not an occasion in which they can get him in ones, that's for sure.
No, need some
Not anymore.
boundaries.
59 for 5.
Need a big over as well. Just one big over, get them back in the game, back in the field.
Yeah, I mean, Canada had a couple of big overs back to back, didn't they? Where they
Yeah.
got about 31 or something of that nature from the 2 overs, and that made a huge amount of difference. In comes Heiliger again and bowls.
Oh.
And this is edged and caught. There's another one.
Oh, for
Heiliger has struck.
fuck's
Delaney has gone.
sake, Ireland, come on.
And Ireland are sinking.
They are sinking.
It was a nothing shot from Delaney. An
Yeah.
absolutely nothing shot. He just waved the bat at it. And it went through to the keeper.
Yeah, the ball didn't really do a lot either, did it? It's just
No,
cramped. It didn't have enough room to play that shot.
I guess it arced in a little bit, and it was maybe a bit closer to him than he thought. But I mean, if you're going to play that shot, you've got to throw your hands at it, surely.
Yeah, you need
and
a bit more.
And he didn't. He just steered it into the keeper's hands.
Yeah, you need a bit more width as well. I mean, that's it. You need to be on the front foot, getting across and whipping out into the leg side.
It was an awful.
That's what Ricky Ponting would be doing. Anyway. Fuck.
Well, this is a collapse and a half.
This is dreadful
from Ireland. This is really poor.
It is. It has to be said. So who's there? Mark Adair.
Mark Adair.
Coming up. He's coming up. Who's coming up? Who's coming up? Who's coming up? Who's coming up? It's Adair. You got pulled up for Ireland. Alright, come back and you can roll. You back and you're rolling out, yeah.
He needs to be more Red Adair than Mark Adair at the moment, doesn't he? Somebody needs to do something. In comes Heiliger, and he's well, that's down the leg side. That's going to be a wide. He tried to get some bat on it and get a cheap 4 down to fine leg, but in keeping with much of what Ireland have done in the last little while, he missed the ball. Yes.
Just poor.
Yes, I think Delaney is wishing he'd missed the ball as well. But, good. It was a good celebration by Heiliger, to be honest. It was very good. He's in again, bowls, and this is again down the leg side. That's going to be another wide, isn't it?
No. Is it though? Because there was definitely very much a move across the stumps, wasn't there?
Yeah, maybe the umpire decided that it went over the stumps rather than.
I mean, I'm saying this without seeing what the effect of the score is on the.
Yeah, I don't think a wide has been clicked onto the score, so I think that's gone down as a legitimate ball. In fact, so Heiliger's back at the top of his mark. He's in again past the umpire and bowls, and this is just played defensively out on the offside. Oh my word! Again, if that hits, I think he's gone for all money.
Yeah, pretty close. Well, they've got to run at everything, haven't they? I mean, they've got to hit some bloody boundaries somehow.
It's actually hit the batsman's bat, I think, on the way through. But they've got to 61.
And like the World Cup final, it's not going to run off for 4.
Yes, indeed. Yes. That's still a much talked about incident, it has to be said. Particularly if you're a Kiwi. With some justification, one would feel. Anyway, it's Heiliger. His complete is over. And this is just pushed out on the offside. Again, they've scampered through for 1, so it's 63 for 6. And we're due a switcheroo, I think.
Oh, we are? There we are. I'm
supposed to be easing into the summariser's chair.
Oh right, it's us 3, just in a different order, yes.
Yeah, I'll stay on social.
A little bit of seat changing.
Yeah. Sagir Parker, what is this? A man falls asleep and wakes up to see a shit show of a chase. And that was even before the last wicket. This is a proper England-style collapse now. Bloody hell. Garrett Azizi, as I've said from the off, just bowls through straight. Diane Patterson, Canada. Kieran Roseblade
enjoying this, I think.
Yeah, Kieran Roseblade. There's assessment of just 4. Sounds like the Irish order in the bar after the match. Drowning sorrows time. Mayank, I think based on the last 2 games, Ireland is worse than Canada at cricket. Controversy in the stands. 2 guys have just been told to put their little Palestine flag away or be escorted off for being political. Fuck's sake.
Word. Hey ho.
Yeah.
Are you on ball by ball bear? Or?
I am. That's just clipped into the leg side, out into a vacant gap, funnily enough. Thought about 2, but it's not quite there. And
it's yet another 1, isn't
it?
Yeah. You can't get them in ones, Ireland.
Yeah.
They need 11 and over.
Saeed Zafar has bowled very well.
Yeah?
Yeah, he has.
Very well.
For as much as all the talk after there was as much talk about how ordinary the Canadian attack was, as well as Jones hit the ball in the opening match. So it certainly seems to have they've turned it around. So it seems, because the bowling seems to have done the trick.
Yeah, that's swung down to long on for another single. Not enough. You might as well. I mean,
think in some
Ireland's
ways
got to go for
this
it now.
pitch is pretty small, pretty slow, isn't it? And so the Canadian bowling largely being quite slow. Ireland haven't got to grips with putting the pace on it or anything of that nature.
Yeah. Well, he's gone back. He's got an edge. Great shot down towards very fine third man. His outfield is slow though.
Oh, I think he's done his hamstring in there.
Do you think so? I think he's
Guy at
just,
third
no.
man. Oh.
He was just bad at pulling up. Johnson's a big man, and he didn't slow down very well. But he did put his hand down and stop the ball from going for 4.
Yeah, I'm going to forgive him for that chase because of the catch he took earlier.
Yeah.
I think he'd trade one for the other.
They got back for 2. Pretty much need that every ball though.
Yeah, they do.
Need a boundary more than anything. They just can't. It's just foolish fucking play. It's they got an umbrella field inside the circle on the offside, and they keep trying to step back and trying to pierce it. They're not good enough.
It's
got to go the other way.
50 balls now since the last.
I know, you've got to find the
boundary.
gaps. You know, you've got to play to where you've got to try and manufacture the ball to somewhere where there aren't any fielders like that. So even though it's
Like
a shit
that.
shot, he's got an inside edge onto his boot. It's run very fine down to fine leg.
Complete
And
miss
they'll
it.
get 2. Yeah.
But
We've got a
2.
super chat.
Oh.
Ooh, hello.
Warren Davis has give us $5 American, thank you, and he's put, "Yay, a bear game."
Yeah, it is a bear game at the moment. It's a massacre. There's been quite a few of those. This pitch has particularly brought them up, but I don't think you can blame the pitch for Ireland here.
No.
I think it's been pretty shit batting all round.
I have to say though, having put an umbrella field up, Canada have bowled to it pretty well.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's where it's the job of a batsman in a T20 to manipulate the gaps and force you to move fielders where you don't want them to be, to create the gaps where you want to hit your shots.
Yeah.
But they're not quite good enough to do it.
No. They've said to Ireland, we're going to bowl here.
Yeah, and you
Can you do anything about it?
And the answer is no.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No. A big fat no.
No, I can't manoeuvre the ball onto the leg
no.
side. They're just not good enough, are they? They're not quality enough batsmen,
Well, it would appear not.
which is a shame.
Yep, indeed.
And they bowled okay, but they bowled a lot of dross into the pads.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, to get away with bowling 14 overs for 69.
I was thinking of Ireland too. I mean, this guy reminds me of sort of Jaden Seal type person. That's up to mid-on, and they'll get themselves a single.
Yeah, I saw Jaden Seals at Lord's the other week, and he was underwhelming, I have to say. Although I think he struggled with the slope, having never seen it before. It will be interesting to see if he does better in the Test match, having.
Well, will he
seen
be?
it
I
once.
don't know if he'll be in a Test side, will he?
Well, will he or won't he? I wonder.
I don't know.
It remains to be seen.
That's
Oh, my
that
goodness.
should have gone away. That's
Very nearly
short.
went on the stumps.
Yeah, it did very nearly go on the stumps, but it should have gone for 4. It was actually a really nice height to pull, angling in towards the man. Nice place to pull it, and he missed it.
Yeah.
There, and then it bounced off him and sort of rolled back towards the stumps. And
And ended up
stopped.
hitting him on the boot.
Yeah, he just missed it, didn't he? He went and played over the top of it.
Well, he's got his boot in the way of it just to make sure it didn't roll back on the stump.
Yeah. Well, the required weight is now 12. To a ball. I ain't getting that.
Runs a ball. They ain't getting
Well,
those.
they're not getting one a ball. At the minute.
No. Oh, that's another big swing. Through the keeper, no run.
To quote one of my favourite comedic lines, Aldrich, we're in the stickiest situations, and sticky the stick insect stuck on the sticky.
Well,
And there's no cunning plan, trust me. Or if there is, it needs to emerge mighty quickly.
it has to be bloody cunning from here.
Indeed.
This is a large crisis.
It is.
Alright. Well, Haylie goes in. That's crunched into the offside. But there is a man out. beat at square point. And that'll just be the 1 run. Ooh, we've lost the feed.
We have. It's completely died. It's given up on Ireland. It's decided that they're so bad that they can't bear to witness the end. Oh, we're back.
We're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
Someone pulled the plug for a second there.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone kicked a cable.
Indeed.
Dockrell facing up. Big swing, no ding. Oh, through the keeper though. Bonus runs. Probably should get 2. Won't go for 4.
3.
Johnson, who isn't a very quick mover in the outfield, it has to be said.
No, which makes it all the more amazing that he reached that catch, really.
Yes, yeah, very much true.
Because the rest of the time he's basically doing what we, when I was a kid, used to call pigeon steps. He really does look awkward when he's running.
Yeah, he's a bit of a lumberer.
He is, indeed. He is indeed. Running many 2s if you were...
Hey Liger is
with him,
in. That's smashed. Up to mid-off. Not cleanly fielded, or there been a chance for a run out, but they get through for a single. 15 overs done, 74 for 6. They require, what, 50? No, 50 gets to
64.
64.
Nearly 13 and over.
Yeah, and 5 overs. Oof.
Yeah. Slim and Nunn.
Yeah, come to mind.
Fancy at this stage, yeah.
Yeah. Bob open, no.
And Slim's not here. Yeah, this has been utterly demoralising from Ireland so far.
It has indeed.
If they're going to find a hero, they better find one quick. Otherwise, they're going home, effectively.
That is true.
There really should have been enough talent in this.
Yeah,
to chase this, shouldn't they? Really,
they've struggled at all the World Cups recently, haven't they? In fact, ever since they become Test status nation, they've struggled. They were always the plucky underdogs. Now, I guess the pressure's on. You're a Test nation, do something, and they're not really fulfilling their potential.
Yeah.
Well, they got some good players, but some average ones as well. That's hoiked into the leg side. That's a good shot. Need a bit more of that, mate. Dockrell's just swung that out over Cow. The man is not on the boundary at Cow, otherwise it probably would have been a catch actually, but it's gone over him and made it to the boundary, and it's 4 runs. Need an over of those, that'll make it a bit more interesting.
Well, I think Dockrell does have some form.
Well, he does.
Doing this kind of thing, doesn't he? So
he's won games before, hasn't he, swinging? Well, that one he drives up past the bowler. I'll just get through for 1.
I'm not quite sure among the Canadian bowlers who's got left to bowl what.
No.
But certainly the first couple of overs that went for a copious number of wides.
Let me try and bring up a scorecard,
because that might become a factor as well.
Cut, but not very convincingly. Now to the man on the edge of the circle at point, and there is a single.
Well, again, he got too far away from that.
Yeah.
So we're in the 16th over. Yep.
Yep.
We are. So there's 4 to go.
Coleen's got 2. Gordon's got 1.
Tossed up. That's got. Has he got hold of that? Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
That's a great shot. Georgie Dockrell's on the charge. That one has been slammed over long on. That's what they need. Well, if he gets another 1, they're up with a run rate for this over. But every over has to be like this now.
Well, you need 2 boundaries and over, don't you?
Yeah.
That's the point. And one of them a 6, really.
Ideally, yeah. So. Last ball, no, 2 balls left. Oh, really slow. Georgie Dockrell waited and swung it and missed it. Went through to the keeper. There's no run. That was really slow.
He could have read War and Peace in the amount of time it took that.
Yeah.
He could have
God.
He could have written War and Peace.
Yeah, probably. Oh dear.
65 kilometres an hour, down from 30 kilometres a third. That's a good shot as well. Oh, it's a great bit of fielding on the fence. It was going look for a certain four down at wide, long, well, deep backward square, long leg, and then a fielder came out of nowhere, managed to pat it down, stop it from going over the boundary. Save two, definitely. Might have injured himself. That's the opening bowler as well, isn't it? I think.
He's got to bowl 2 overs.
Oh no, he's not.
He might have put his wrist out.
I think he's put his shoulder out, hasn't he?
He might have made contact with.
No, he got rid of the ball.
He's saved. Oh, he's gone down heavily on his left shoulder.
Yeah.
Ouch, that hurt.
Should be all right now.
Hurt.
Yeah, but he's got a bowl 2.
Yeah.
Dara Azizi, I did ask where the boundary was coming from. That was before the boundaries in this over. Nick Vickers, when they gained Test status, the Irish internationals basically lost their access to county cricket, hence the slide.
Yeah, that's true.
Bradshaw, our potential would be easier to fulfil if Cricket Island's executive weren't paying themselves as if they were running Man City. Kieran Roseblade, hold the phone, frightening skies ahead. Then Pirate Bradshaw, of course that Tesla for Warren Dutram was really what full membership was for.
Yeah, of course, that comment about players leaving county cricket.
Maybe
that
problems
was
at the top.
That was Paul Sterling's issue. He left Middlesex because of that.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate one.
He left Middlesex, and Tim Murtagh retired and stayed. That was a lot of the talk that winter. Anyway,
well, Kaleem is going to bowl. He's bowled 2 overs, number 13. He's coming around the wicket into the pads of Markadare. He gets it down to mid wicket. They go for 1. They stick at 1.
well, I think he wants to get Dockrell on strike, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Dockrell's eye is in now. He's hitting the ball. Blood will be rushing.
He's the man with the long levers.
Yeah.
So
Markadare can hit a pretty long ball as well.
Dockrell sent him back, actually.
Yeah. Well, it was a wise decision.
He fancied 2 and Dockrell didn't.
Dockrell's played PSL or something like that, hasn't he? Around the wickets comes the bowlers. Big heave down to the man on 45. It'll go a single. They need more than that.
Yep, 48 required from 22.
Oof.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Hefty.
We've seen it done,
Yeah.
but we've only seen it done by teams with more talent than Ireland.
Yeah. In January, with a couple of biffers on a pitch that's as flat as a fucking flat thing.
However, how will Canada react to the idea that they might win?
Yeah, there's that too. That's into the
Oh, hello.
pads. Well, that's gone a long way up. Has it gone far enough? Well, there's no one out there. It's gone over the man who's on the 45. It's bounced just inside the boundary, but a much needed one. It's 4 runs.
4 on the floor, and 1 more 4 than the 4 before. That's what 4s are for, to get funky on the dance floor.
Yes, I just wondered whether this death bowling might be vulnerable from a Canadian perspective.
Well,
And it hasn't looked too clever so far.
yeah.
Hold on to your hats, this might be a good finish yet.
It could well be, yeah. Markadare is facing up. Kaleem is bowling. He's gone 1-1-4. 3 balls left in the over. Around the wicket. That's a full toss.
That's a full
And it's heaved into the leg side out towards Cow. They come for 1. They're going to try and make it back for 2. That's good running.
Yeah.
They do make it back for 2.
A full bunger. That was
8 off the over.
If you're not completely committed to 2 from the moment that leaves the bat, then that one, you're out by yards. And
Yeah. That was Mark Adair who's getting in on the swinging as well on that previous one. He got that 4.
Yeah, he did. If they both start swinging,
Yeah.
it get very interesting.
Imagine they're playing hurling, boys. Well, he swung at that one. I think that's gone all the way, isn't it? Yeah, it has.
that's
That's
gone for
6 over long leg. Oh dear, Canada seems to be throwing this away. Suddenly that doesn't look too bad. You're into 3 figures. Only 36 required. 6 sixes, 3 sixes, 6 sixes of 19 balls. Well, you only need 6 of them. Starts to make it look a little bit more enticing. 102 for 6.
It's very tight now.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what the bookies have got it at now.
Well, I guess Canada might be having nightmares about American assault late in the game.
Yeah.
The other day as well.
Well, that's it. Death bowling. Canada are still favourites. 9-4 on. Ireland are 7-4 around the wicket. That's smashed. Oh no, he's bowled. No, he hasn't done anything. He hasn't smashed it. He hasn't bowled him. I think
it's the stump somehow.
I think it's come off inside edge, hit the back pad, and then just dribbled past the leg stump.
Dot ball.
And it was a dot ball.
12 and over. 2 runs a ball required from here.
Yeah, 14 runs off that over.
2 set batters now.
Yeah.
Well, and by far and away the 2 most profitable overs have come in the last 2 overs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even though it's still in that 2 runs per ball range, you feel that momentum might be just swinging Ireland's way just a little bit.
Well, that's it. And if that puts the bowlers off just a little bit, so they bowl on a couple of crap balls and over that they'd suddenly get hold of, then it puts more pressure on, doesn't it?
See, Canada are not used to winning either, and now they've got themselves into a position where they should win, and the pressure goes back the other way, doesn't it? The psychological pressure goes back the other way. Because what happens if we mess this up? And, little things get inside your head.
Well, Hayliger comes in. Oh dear, Doc. It just went too early. He went way over to leg side. And
couldn't get back again.
He couldn't get back again. Hayliger just bowled just outside off stump, and he ended up stretching out and looking stupid. Again, he's got to slam that over cow corner. Give it the old heave ho with the bottom hand, man.
Well, you've got to love finishes like this.
I'd like it to be a bit close. Well, he's got hold of that one. Mid off is up, and it's gone inside him. That's a good shot. Slapped back. It's going to be 4 runs.
Mid off was a million miles from that.
He wasn't a million miles from it, but he was up. That's the important thing. So there was space behind him. If he beat him, it was going all the way. Canada look a little bit rattled. There's a lot of chat going on, don't there? And they're still very much in control of this. It bounced just in front of him, and
in terms of where the fielding placings are, there's only one fielder in the deep on the offside.
Yeah.
Everybody else is packed on leg side, the deep fielder.
Yeah, and they keep trying to hit it through the fucking offside as well. It's weird. I'll be trying to get inside it every time and trying to find a space on the leg side. Anyway, that's just knocked into the offside for another single.
Yeah. Which puts it back to more than 2 runs a ball, I think.
Yeah, but they're keeping it. Take it down to the last over. You give yourself a shot, don't you? Even if you need
12 from the last one, then.
Oh well, yeah, 12 to 18. If you need that for the last 18 is on the outside, isn't it? But it's possible still. Swung at, missed, lifting full pace that one from Johnson, and there is no run.
You followed him a bit there as well.
Yeah.
He's cloth that, hasn't he?
No, that was
that was the wicket from earlier.
Yeah.
Johnson's catch, wasn't
Oh
it? We're
yeah,
seeing
sorry, it's
wickets.
Hayliger bowling, isn't it?
Yes, it's Hayliger bowling at the moment. They're both pretty big units.
Yeah, they are. 31 for 14. Hit into the offside. Oh, and he's beaten that man at mid-off again. I think this one isn't going to make it to the boundary. It's nearly.
Oh, well
It just
done.
gets hauled
There
back
should be
in.
3 there.
Well
Should
done.
be 3.
Is.
Oh, it would have been tight, but they
would.
did get back for 3. Hit down to long off, chased down, just fielded inside the boundary, hurled back in. But
This is a
dare got there.
fascinating scrap now.
It
28 from 13.
Just about got enough of that.
I think they've got as many 3s as 4s, I think, Ireland. That's their 3rd 3 of the inning.
Yeah.
Well, suggests at least they're running hard.
Yeah, 110. That's hit into the offside again. Straight to the fielder this time at cover. See, they seem to have moved someone out already from that ring, you know. Create another gap. Couldn't hit it this time, but...
Still 14 and over required off the last 2, though.
Yeah.
Kieran Roseblade. The trouble with Ireland in all sports is there is always the glimmer of hope. To which Pirate Bradshaw replies, the hope, the deadly nerve-shredding hope.
Except for in things like the rugby, okay, you don't win a World Cup. But
You don't get past the quarterfinals in the World Cup.
They got to the semis this time, didn't they? Lost to...
No, they lost to New Zealand in the quarters.
Was that the quarters?
They
Yeah.
should have. They should have.
That
won.
was one of the
Yeah,
best
that's what he
games
said.
of rugby I have seen in a very,
Yeah.
very long time. That was a
Yeah,
fucking
that-
war, man.
They should have won it.
That whole weekend, because there was that game and there was the France-South Africa game as well.
Yeah.
That was
Epic.
Epic,
Yeah.
that was another, yes.
Epic.
Oh, now that could be a no
goodness.
ball into the leg side.
I think the no ball's been signalled, isn't it?
I thought that was above waist high. It was a full bunger.
It'd be close.
Oh, they're having a look at this, I should imagine.
Well, they make their decisions quickly.
Doesn't look like it's been given.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. It's just dipping, isn't it? It's hit him on the hand, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's hit on the handle, isn't it? On the glove where he's holding it.
Ouch.
27 from 11. A couple of sixes now would make life really interesting.
Over to you, Mr. Dockrell.
If he can get the ball through extra cover, there's a gap there.
Is this the chap that bowled the 3 wides in the first over?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced by him early on. He needs to earn his corn now.
Well, Georgie Dockrell is coming around a wicket. He's
Slap.
slapped that. Not a great timing up to long on. That'll just be the one. Got to get underneath it and lift it.
Yeah, got to risk it now.
It's not a bad comeback from Ireland, but they should never really have got themselves in this situation in the first place. Once again, the top order failed and wasn't really a lot of answers. And then when they needed to work the gaps and keep the scoreboard ticking over, they just kept losing wickets. It was good bowling, I suppose, from Canada.
They needed to be in a position where, if the game got deep, they had a few better batters still left at the crease.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, that could be a
that
no
might-
ball.
that might
That
be a
could be a
no
no
ball,
ball, and
it's
it's gone for 4. Yeah, it's a big edge inside the short third man, which has gone down to the boundary for 4. And will it be a no ball?
I think
They're asking the question of the umpire.
Well, they don't review it. This is not the IPL, but surely that's a no ball. That was baseball.
It looks like the umpires said no.
Really?
Looks like he said no because they've only given the 4 runs. Haven't
Outrageous. It's got to be a fucking no
Because
ball.
we'd be down to 20 required, I think. If he'd given 6, effectively. Yep, he's only given the 4, so he's not given a no ball. 22 from 9.
Yeah.
How many did the Americans knock off yesterday? Was it 18?
I I think it was 15 off the last over, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's through. Who's facing? I can't even see who's facing. Dockrell, was it?
No, I think that was a dare.
A dare went under his
Facing.
bat and through to the keeper. There's no run.
Yeah, this is getting long odds now.
Yeah, it is.
For Ireland. It's nearly 3 runs a ball.
Yeah.
They certainly need to find the boundary with these last couple.
Well, they're going to have a target in the last over. 22. Well, that's
a
handy.
wide.
No, it's not a wide. It was into his. I think
Has
it
it
came
hit
off
the
his
pad?
boot. His pad or boot, but it's beaten the keeper.
Gone for 4.
Gone for 4.
2 plus 2 is our number.
The pad.
18 off 7.
Every time you think that one side's got themselves in a position to win it, they do something off the next ball that changes it all round again.
Aye. No,
They're both trying to give it away.
I like to see. Oh, I don't know if there was inside edge on that onto his pad, but it certainly came off the pad. No, that was an inside edge. Just runs to the batsman.
Yeah, he got bat on it, and he was outside the line anyway, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
it pitched outside leg. So. Well, Mr. Adair is possibly proving Red Adair after all.
Yeah, well, I said he can hit a ball. 18 required off 7.
He's coming to the party.
Adrenaline is flowing. Sana gets another full toss. Goes out to the man on the 45.
He didn't make the most of it.
He didn't. Well, he's got 1 run, so we're down to 17 off the last over. Yep. I definitely put Canada as favourites, but you never know.
You never know. George McPherson going to be touch and go, and Jeremy Henderson says that a no ball is still only worth 1.
Yes.
Now it says they're 1 over behind,
Ooh,
and
so
there's 1 over left.
So they might have to bring another fielder
They might
in.
have to bring a fielder in, which helps the cause a little bit.
It'll create another gap on the fence, won't it? That's for sure.
Well, that it does do. Loads of advice for the bowler.
Yeah.
Probably too much.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's thinking, I've got to bowl the blinking thing, leave me alone.
Oh yeah, well that's what I'd be saying. Like, fucking,
Probably.
I want this field, this is how I'm going to bowl.
Yeah. Well, if you're Ireland, you want a boundary in the first couple of balls, don't you?
Well, you want 2 boundaries in the first 2 balls, would be nice.
Because you've got to feel that you're giving yourself a chance. If you know, you get 2 singles, all of a sudden you need 15 off 4, don't you?
Yeah. Well, Johnson it is. First ball bowled short, and it's missed on the heave by Mark Adair. Through the keeper, no run. This ball's got to go to the boundary. One feels.
It has. I think it's got to go. I think it's got to go to Brooklyn, let alone to the boundary.
Yeah.
Jeez. Needs to disappear. It's getting desperate now.
That it is. In comes Johnson. Well, it's gone straight up in the air. Bowler catches it off his own bowling. It's Gordon. Sorry, it's not Johnson who's bowling. Gordon has slammed that in the wicket. Mark Adair is doing what he had to try and do, which was slam it over the fence. He got a big top edge. It's gone way up into the sky. It's gone nowhere. And Gordon has caught it off his own bowling. It's caught and bowled Gordon. Ireland lose that 7th wicket. Adair got 34 of 24. It was a valiant effort, but one feels that Ireland, well, it's just too little too late, wasn't it? And we have to say goodbye to Adair.
The crowd says, the crowd says, the crowd says you're out.
Because doesn't the new batter have to face?
Yeah, there's no crossing anymore.
So therefore you haven't even got Dockrell on strike,
No.
have you? And every ball's got to go to the boundary now.
Yep.
A 6 and 3 4s required to win the game.
All still 3 6s.
Oh, 3 6s, yeah. So you've got a minimum of 3 boundaries
Yeah. Well,
in the last 4 balls.
McCarthy is going to face up.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Nice time to be a hero, son.
Yeah. He's got a jingle.
Close your eyes and swing.
Well, he's at the first ball. It's gone aerial. It's gone out, but it's not carried. Dropped short of square leg. They're going to come back for 2.
They did.
They did come back for 2.
I'm sure that was wise.
Barry hits a long ball, I'm pretty sure.
Well, 2 6s and a 4 required now.
So if they get 1 off this, they require 2. Oh no.
No. They need to get at least
4.
It's got to go.
Well, he's
and
missed
it hasn't gone. So if Canada don't do anything stupid, they've won.
Indeed they have. They must know it now. 15 required off 2. That's missed by McCarthy. Through to the keeper and there's no run.
Yeah, just come in as slow as you like.
And bowl from 5 yards behind the popping crease.
Yeah. Make sure you don't bowl a no ball or a wide. It doesn't matter if it goes for 6.
Yeah. Or a head high full toss.
Yeah.
Just don't do anything stupid. And you've won.
Well, in comes Gordon. Missed again. And it's probably not going to be a run out. They run for the single because they had to run anyway. And I presume, I guess you got Georgie Dockrell at the other end, haven't you? So they needed to get him on strike. Shy at the batsman's end misses, and then the bowler fumbled it. Otherwise, it would have been an easy run out at his end. 14 required off the last ball. Not going to happen. Just make sure you don't bowl a no ball or a wide. Well, a wide wouldn't matter so much as long as you don't bowl about 8 in a row. And then get hit for 6. Gordon is in. It's heaved by Dockrell down to long on. They will get 1. There's no point coming back for 2 and running yourself out. That is it. The game is done. Canada have beaten Ireland. There's shocks coming all over the place. USA got beat Pakistan yesterday. I don't know if this is so much of a shock. Canada, as John pointed out earlier, 2-2 when it comes to T20s at international level. So Canada now 3-2 up. They won the important one at World Cup when it matters. And they didn't get a huge score. There's 136, 137 they got.
Yep.
That's a high score on this ground, to be fair. The pitch hasn't been as bad as it's been in the 2 previous games. And
they made a score which gave them a chance to defend it.
Exactly. And against an Ireland side that, let's face it, has got some sort of stars in it, some good batsmen in it, but it's found wanting. It's just not very good at manoeuvring the ball around the field, to be fair. Got a couple of players who can do it, but everyone else is a bit too formulaic and can't work the field.
Well, they went from 23 for no wicket to 59 for 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't do that.
You can't do that, and you're only chasing a low total. And this is it. I mean, they batted pretty well at the end there, you know.
Adair and Dockrell.
Yeah, Adair got 34, whatever it was. Dockrell ended up on, 30. Just needed some support from, and they were 7 and 8.
Well, they needed somebody in the top 6.
Yeah, exactly.
To make a significant contribution.
Absolutely.
And leave them with slightly less to do, and the top 6 couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it. Found wanting. Yeah, exactly that. Oh well, onwards and upwards tomorrow.
So what's next?
Australia versus England. Or England versus Australia. The big one tomorrow. It's a 6 o'clock start, I think, or 6:30 kick-off.
It is. Yeah, it's a late kick-off.
So an evening game for us here in England. I think it's an afternoon game in the West Indies. So, but very much looking forward to it. England, of course, could have got beaten by Scotland. Didn't take a wicket, and Scotland scored 90 off of 10 overs or 99 or something, leaving us a total of 111 to get far 10 overs, and then the game was washed out.
Yeah, I think we got saved by the rain.
Well, we could have got saved by the rain. We certainly had the firepower to be able to get that, and 10 wickets in 10 overs. You'd like to think that they could do it, but equally...
Not great bowling though, was it? Let's be honest.
It wasn't great bowling. We got a wicket on a no ball.
But tomorrow's another day.
And tomorrow is another day, and hopefully they've got that out of their system. It is the old enemy, Australia. I think we're a better T20 side than Australia. I think we've got more depth.
Have we got better mentality though?
Well, that's the problem. They are
I think that's the issue. I think maybe.
Well, I
have
think
more
maybe
talent.
at T20 we do. I mean, we are defending champions. We do. I mean, you look at England's side and you think that's a pretty good T20 side, yeah.
Do you not think though? Do you not think though that for Butler to have to captain open innings and keep wicket is a big ask?
I'm not so bothered about it in the T20, to be honest. Maybe in the ODI World Cup it looked a bit too. This is his format. This is his game. I don't have a problem with that.
I think in the T20 it's even harder.
I don't.
Because I think you have to think much quicker.
I think it kind of. I'm not so sure about that. I think these things kind of play out.
Or perhaps you just rely on instinct a little bit more.
And I think your bowlers have a fair amount of input into the whole thing.
All will be revealed.
All will be revealed tomorrow.
Indeed.
Of course, Stevie Smith's not in the T20 squad. He's in the commentary box, as far as I can figure out. In fact, what is the Australia squad? It's got a bunch of people I don't know.
Enlighten us further.
No, I haven't obviously changed it on here then, because from what I saw, let's have a look at the Australia squad. Canada, Ireland, England, Australia, and squads. Australia, Mitch Marsh, Ashton Agar, see. Pat Cummins, Tim David's in there, Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, Josh English, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Stark, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, David Warner and Adam Zampa.
Yeah, I think that's pretty formidable.
Well, I think it's got potential, but in England, pretty similar.
Inglis is a big hitter, a very big hitter, dangerous boy.
Yeah, but if we go out with the team we went out with the other day, we bat all the way down. With hitters as well, pretty much.
Yeah, you would. You would fancy it might be a game with some runs in it, wouldn't you? But,
yeah, you'd hope so. It's in Barbados again, isn't it? I think.
Yes, I think that's right. So, well, games between England and Australia are always interesting for a myriad of reasons, aren't they? So.
Well, the TV has immediately gone over to a blast game, so if you want more T20, you can just go over and watch that. And then I'm sure there'll be some more. Bashir, so Somerset are playing in some game against somebody else.
I think it might be Leicestershire.
Anyway, we're not going to commentate on that because it's time to go home and think about dinner. Thank you very much for joining us, boys and ladies and gents out there in the wide world of the web, and we shall be back tomorrow for the big one.
Tomorrow,
Australia, England. We'll be back on 10 minutes before the start of the game, roughly. And till then, goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla cricket. Whoa. Guerrilla. Take guard, man the barricades, patrol the cover boundary. At last the time is come, this is a cricketing emergency. Hear this call to arms for every cricket revolutionary. Take up your bats and stumps for the test match insurgency. At first they tried to silence us, but we would not be silenced. They threatened us with lies, so we threatened them with violence. Che Guevara, Sangakkara, Joseph Stalin, Douglas Jardine, Robespierre, Darrell Hare, Vladimir Lenin, O'Brien Kevin, Guerrilla cricket. It's not about the winning, it's about how many rules you break. Even in cricket commentary, this is the best advice to take. Pick guerrilla cricket, it's the finest choice you'll ever make. There's so much more to cricket than red counters and a slice of cake. At first they tried to sanitize us and clean up our act, but people like it filthy, and we know that for a fact. Fidel Castro, Lenny Pascoe, Carlos the Jackal, Umar Akmal, Mahatma Gandhi, Grant and Andy, Brendan Behan, Austin Ian, guerrilla cricket. Stick with us, cause you know we're not the kind of thing that you see on the TV and the radio. So vive la revolution. First they tried to buy us, but we would not be bought. Okay, we were, but then we ran away, and we will not be caught. Would not give up the ghost when they left us all for dead. They decapitated us, but we just grew another head. Chairman Mao, Jamie Howe, Ho Chi Minh, Asif Din, Václav Havel, Graham Saville,